Okay, everybody, if you're now watching this, I accidentally disabled the chat because I clicked the wrong button and it was for kids and it's not for kids. So it's fixed now. You might need to go and hang on a second. There we go. All right. I don't know if I'm peeking or not. It sounded kind of loud to me, but if you go and refresh, you'll have the chat back. So sorry about that, everyone. My bad. I clicked the wrong thing. And apparently I left the thing unmuted. So I was like, hear myself. It's like, no, stop, please. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Tonight I have, again, with me, Ishii and Tom. How are you guys doing?
Hello. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. Jay Sherafini. Spaced out as hell right now, but I'm good.
You're not the only one spaced out. Holy shit. It's super dark water. Dude, it's been forever, man. How you been? But yeah, we also have Tom. Script Doctor will be joining us. How are you doing, Tom?
Doing all right. So did you get the chat thing fixed?
I got the chat thing fixed. Yeah. At this point, you just got to refresh and it will show back up again.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Script Doctor will be joining. Sorry, what was that?
Is it okay, Boomer?
Yeah. Okay, Boomer. Well, fortunately, it's funny because I was like clicking around trying to figure out how to freaking fix it. And yeah. So there's a lovely edit button, and that apparently magically takes care of everything.
Whatever you say, Boomer.
Shut up, Tom.
You missed me, and you know.
I totally miss you.
So how's your week been? Besides getting a fancy new camera hooked up.
Oh, it's been a pain in the ass because of the fancy new camera. It's funny because I ordered it. It got to me on Sunday. I'm like, yes, okay. I'm like getting everything set up. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, this takes a totally different HDMI cable than my HD Mark II, or excuse me, 5D Mark II, and which takes a mini, and this is a micro. This is an HDMI D apparently, and so yeah, I had to order it. It's like, okay, it'll be here on I think it was like Monday, and of course it shows up on Tuesday. So good times. And then I tried to get everything working on. It's funny because like Tuesday I was fucking exhausted. It's like, okay, screw this. I'll do something tomorrow. And then I fuck up my computer. So my computer's dead. I was telling everybody before we went live that so I have like a water cooled heat sink for my CPU. And it went out on me like a couple months ago, and I just reseated it, and thank God it started working. I think when like the pump is dying and it wasn't circulating the water like it should, and so I reseated it. It didn't work, and I was just like, balls. So I was like, oh, do they still? It's like, how old is this thing? Plus I bought the Elgato capture card, and that's the reason why the thing fucking died, because I was trying to put that in. And I was looking at the requirements for the card. It requires a i7 Gen 6, and I go and I look at mine. It's an i7 Gen 2. So just shows you how old my fucking CPU is. So I was like, well, I can go and order a new cooler, maybe, because it's, socket 2011. And or I could just buy a new motherboard, processor, memory, heatsink, and just be done with it. And I'll have a modern computer and I can use the fucking card I bought. So I did that. And now I'm using my Mac right now. So if I'm a little choppy, that might be the reason why. Laptops are a wonderful thing. Anyway.
They are a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It sounds like I didn't watch Linus Tech Tips. Well, when I built this thing, I built it back in 2012. So this computer is like 8 years old, and it was doing fine. It was doing fine until my heatsink went out. So yeah. Anyway, I like Linus. I like his stuff. It's a pretty neat site or channel, I should say. Oh, anyway, Script Doctor should be on his way. I guess he's on the Galactic podcast right now. So he'll be joining probably with Drew once they're done. So anyway, but holy shit, guys, we have a lot to talk about.
You managed to bring up birth control.
I did.
You said with Drew.
Funny. You're funny.
Yeah, just when you think things can't get any weirder, they do.
Oh, we're not 15 minutes in yet. I gotta be good.
Yep.
This is for kids, folks. I love you. You love me.
Yeah, of course we do, Tom.
Okay,
Anyway.
so we got a question in the chat from Computer Robots here.
Okay.
And I have no idea what it's about, but then I have not really been paying attention much today. It says, hey, everyone, do you guys want to talk about the Smash Brother Twitter drama that is going on about exposing pedophiles and predators? Now, we're talking about the video game Smash Brothers, right?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about this.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah. I mean, the latest thing I heard was kind of an update to the Epstein case, and that one lady that was helping him groom
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is good they finally got her.
Yeah.
Will she be known as the madam?
Probably. Who knows? So, yeah.
I think she'll be known as accidentally suicided.
Yeah, that's funny because they had some people making comments about
Epstein's secretary didn't kill herself.
Yeah, they need like 2 cameras on this bitch, so like nothing happens.
Yeah.
Or if something happens that there's cameras, and if they mysteriously go out, we were like, come on, man, there's like 2 cameras on her. 2 cameras, 4 guards, and everyone fell asleep. Come on.
You put a camera on her.
Yeah, on her.
No, I mean on her person.
Oh, that too. Oh, but when she fell asleep and rolled over, it magically broke.
Well, I'm saying you have so many fucking like when they filmed The Matrix, you get that many cameras.
Yeah,
if y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about. Yes.
Complete circle of like what is 100 some cameras they had for that shot.
Should make her actually swallow a camera while she's at it.
We can watch the murder in slow motion 3D, folks, but we can't see who did it.
This is why we need cyberware, because that way, we can replace one of our eyes with a prosthetic eye that has a camera in it, and it can record everything that happens.
No, it's just funny how everybody thinks that they can do the kind of stuff like they can on CSI. It's like, no, you would need a setup like the Matrix to be able to do what they do. And worse, actually, because you'd have to have cameras above you and below you as well.
Yeah.
To be able to do the shit they do in CSI.
I had a cop once tell me that Star Wars was a more factual film and more realistic than CSI.
Probably.
Of course.
Probably.
Man.
I mean, later, I guess they got a little better, but I haven't watched it in so long. I remember the first few seasons of the original show, the Las Vegas one, was just like, this shit ain't real. It's as bad as when they go, zoom in, enhance. Zoom in, enhance.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you enhancing?
My libido.
And the magic audio fixes that you can do too. It's like, I've messed with a lot of audio to where there's only so much you can do. You can't produce something that's not there, and you can't always take only so much out before you start losing everything.
Well, it uses midichlorians and tachyon fuels to reconstruct.
Well, that's different. Now you're getting into quantum physics and all that kind of shit. I don't know physics.
Oh, I'm getting into quantum bullshit. Is what I'm getting
I
into.
know you are. I'm being facetious, but no. Yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt it if CSI is more sci-fi than Star Wars.
And
well, not only that, they solve a crime every episode too, almost.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the funny thing about it.
Now, I went on a police ride-along just to kind of research for one of my stories, and just some of the things the cops said about, CSI, Star Wars is a more realistic film. And another one that he'd said was that, if you're pretty smart, you get away with it. We only catch the dumb ones, especially if it's murder.
Christ. Well, and this is, not to get down that path, but this is, kind of where the whole defunding of the police, some of it makes sense because most of them are unequipped to do half the shit that half of them are doing. They can't be expected to be social workers and detectives. So there's got to be a fine line here. And if we're not solving that, if the percentage is really as bad as they're put, because I've heard it's out there, it's like 8 or 9% of all murders are actually solved. If it's really that low, that is bad. In this day and age with the technology we have, that is bullshit. I can't believe that.
I mean, if you really think about it, it's it really is the stupid criminals who get caught. If you really think about it.
Well, of course. I mean, you make it easy, but I mean, I can't believe that if somebody sits there and watches enough episodes of I Almost Got Away with It, you'll eventually get away with it. The odds are in your favor,
I think
evidently.
there's certain things that they actually leave out to prevent that. But look what happened with the Golden State Killer. Okay, how long was that guy around? Like at large?
Well, they never even caught the Zodiac murderer, did they?
No, they haven't. But the only reason why they got Golden State was because of fucking DNA testing. Like, it's like somebody did was it DNA in Me or whatever the fuck it is.
Well, that's the other thing. DNA technology has gotten so much better in the last, X amount of years compared to even when we were kids. I mean, I just don't understand how come it is so hard to pin down some of these people. I mean, or is it really just the paperwork? What the fuck's the problem here? I don't get it.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, okay, if you do something heinous and then move to the other side of the country, I'm not gonna fucking find you.
Pretty much. I mean, well, there's
unless somebody actually was an eyewitness to what was going on and you were identified, then yeah, that would be it.
No, I don't have any numbers in front of me, but most of the time when I hear about a murder being solved or they find a body finally, you're right. It's like 20 years after the fact, sometimes more. And it's when that said person had moved away and 3 other people had lived someplace, and then they dig up some garden and they just go by the timing of it as supposed, like that one guy they just put away or just caught that somebody had dug up the yard or whatever, and they found a body, and it was from the early 1980s that this girl that went disappeared, and they arrested this old dude who's in his 70s.
Yeah.
It's just weird how that shit happens now.
Well, the majority of the time, when somebody gets murdered, it's typically their spouse that did it.
Right. Well, and I just had that conversation earlier when people were going about the whole black versus white violence kind of thing. It's well, first of all, most murders, I'm willing to bet, and again, no solid numbers in front of me, but I'm willing to bet 90% of the murders in the world are a husband killing a wife or vice versa.
Well, that's the funny thing,
or a
dude.
spurned lover,
In my neighborhood, that's exactly what happened. This dude killed his wife.
That's what I'm saying. Most of the time when you hear about it, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Then the other 5% is just random arguments over drugs, probably, and then the other 5% is just random crimes, and then the minuscule percent is that the motherfuckers in white vans with candy. We're not past 15 minutes yet, so we can't say another F word for another few minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've got
I used up the F word. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ishi.
Oh, I got a real creepy one for you. Does anyone remember the was it the Danielle Van Dam murder, where this guy David Westerfield had kidnapped a 7-year-old in San Diego, and it was the next door neighbor. He kidnapped their kid. Did you hear anything about?
No.
You remember that?
Mm-mm.
I've heard similar ones. I may have. And that's the thing. That's what I hear. And it's normally years after the fact, though, when they finally catch them.
Yeah.
Well, this was a really big deal in 2002, throughout California, at least. They even made a TV movie with was it Dean Cain playing the? Oh no, that was the Scott.
I was going to say, wasn't that the one where the guy?
That was the Scott Peterson story.
Yeah, Scott Peterson, yeah.
But the David Westerfield trial, what was creepy about it was this old guy. He was a pedophile.
This might be the one I was just talking about, too.
Kidnapped the next door neighbor's kid, and it went bad. But in the process, the really creepy part is that the case got complicated because it turned out the parents were swingers, so there was all sorts of extra evidence,
Damn it.
DNA that they had to go through.
We lost comics.
Oh
no, it's the. Oh fuck! Are you serious? Okay, there it goes.
Yeah.
No. Here's another thing I found with this camera is it's after 30 minutes it will fucking go into shutdown mode. Even though I turned off all the stuff for it to stop doing that.
Okay, well, Ishi, you were in the middle there. You said the swingers, and there's too much evidence.
So there was too much loose DNA around the house that they had to track down.
Like a Jackson Pollock painting in this motherfucker.
And they had to make sure all these other people weren't guilty or had anything to do with it, which was a headache for the cops. But the creepiest part was at one point they thought they had found the body of the girl. And it was nearby. It wasn't that far. Somebody had been digging and found bones, and they did an excavation. It was the bones of a child. And then it turned out, no, this is somebody who died in the 1970s at least, and we don't know who this is.
So a whole nother case, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know whatever happened to that. The murderer that killed the kid in this case went away for, I think he got the death penalty or something. But yeah, he's no longer in the picture.
Okay, so this is funny. Cleveland's asked me, how long has my goatee been gray? Since I was in my 30s. The reason why it's not gray is because I dye it, and since when I go get my hair cut and dyed and whatnot, you have to wear a face mask, so I can't get it dyed.
I don't even try.
You don't even try? Okay.
No.
Which is pretty funny because my goatee is gray, but my hair really is not. It's like there's like flecks of silver in there, but it's not a whole lot.
No, I just got too many boxes and crap behind me, so I don't think anybody wants to look at my mug.
Yeah, you got to clean up your desk, man. You got to make your space presentable.
What? I got stuff here.
I know. I just give you a hard time. I love the fact that you have the arcade.
I got that right there.
The arcade game, man. That's awesome.
I just got to get my stuff behind me, like my TV all set up and all that kind of stuff, and then it won't look so bad back there. Empty boxes and
really
stuff.
Funny because behind like my computer, it's just like all this crap that you can't see. I mean, it's not that bad, but It's funny. My desk is like a mess of cables right now because everything typically ran over here where my PC is at. And so since I had to, pull that off the shelf and just like put it aside until the parts come in, I have everything like running, over to my MacBook right here. So yeah, technology problems. Anyway, but you guys didn't come here to listen to us talk about mundane crap. We're talking about the Great Reset.
Oh, jeez. But the thing that creeped me out about that is it's pure Alex Jones stuff. This is the kind of stuff he was always rambling about.
Oh, I know.
It was published in The Hill, which is like, it's a moderate publication. It's very legit.
Yeah, well, the thing that kind of got me, because I've heard about the Great Reset, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way this shit's going to work, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's scary about it is when you read the Hill article, and we'll pull it up in a few. They're talking about the use of activists to push this agenda.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, and if you pay attention to what's going on, this is exactly what is going on, folks. This is the thing that's so fucking crazy about it. And if you're not familiar with what the Great Reset is, the idea is that you have a bunch of global leaders that want to go and revise how economic systems work worldwide. It's basically socialism. They want to go and have everybody adopt socialism through policy. And it's things like the Green New Deal, all these things that, are very kind of, anti-American, free speech, anti-Second Amendment, personal choice, whatever, is what they want to push.
They want to limit freedom of movement. They want to limit the amount of possessions you can own. It's just they want everyone living in grass huts and eating bugs.
That's the thing that's so funny about it is like when you think about it, Dave Cullen was doing all those videos talking about the media and how they're pushing that thing with are eating bugs the way of the future. It's like, are they fucking prepping us? It's like, especially, I'm like, dude, no way, right? It's like, there's no way this shit's going to happen. And then when you start hearing about the Great Reset and you read this article, it makes everything that was said with those articles and what Dave Cullen was talking about, it's like, they're preparing us. This is what they want the future to be. And this is the reason why they're putting the earwig in our brains, to get, start setting the expectation of, we won't be eating cows and chicken in the future. It's just going to be, Soylent Green and bugs.
And, clearly it's not going to apply to them.
Oh, of course
Fuck you
not.
And no.
Of course not. Everyone who's like, if you're a rich politician, you're one of the social elites. Yes, this, of course, is not going to apply to them.
I don't know. The thing is throughout history, throughout the history of the entire world, time and time again, you see these elites that have become so disconnected with reality and the common man that they drop these grand plans and it never works. It always turns out in the worst possible way. Hell, the Soviet Union's a great example of that. But Rome, the larger they grew it, just the worse it got. I mean, I don't know. It's just, what the hell are they thinking?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's all really kind of weird. It is really fucking bizarre. Like I said, the thing, it's like when you hear about what they're talking about with the Great Reset, you're like, yeah, dude, it's not fucking possible. There's no way they're gonna get this to happen, until you get to the point where they're saying activists, utilizing and activating activists to push this. And what's going on with activists right now? What are they pushing for? Defund the police.
Yeah,
that is like one of the first things. And it's like I was reading this other article. There's a bunch of videos I'm going to make on this topic because it really kind of got me. This is something that needs to be talked about by more people. And so yeah, this is like the video I've been trying to make this week to start talking about this article and what's going on and how it ties into entertainment too, because you see it with that memo that came from Bad Robot and all the stuff that they're pushing. Because I went through the document, I went through all of it. There's really not a lot to read. It's mainly like resource links, books, and articles for people to go and read. So this is what they're pushing. And so, of course, they have like, some definitions, and they're talking about the whole thing with white supremacy. And but here's the thing, if you think about it, and this ties into what you told me, Tom, about the 1619 Project, is that if you can sell to the masses that America is a racist and terrible country, then you can have justifications for tearing down everything. Okay. And this is the goal. You see this popping up throughout, in other countries too. Why is it that a police incident that happened in the United States, why, police brutality, why did it spark protests in London and throughout Europe?
Well, there's a lot to that too, as far as like, also like, it took over a week for them to report on it from when it actually happened. Yeah. They picked a time when we were all in this very, this state of just like, unrest. And I get it. It was a few different things all at once. But, like I said before, you're right. It's like we've gotten to this point where they're convinced that every white person in America is racist. And this country is so racist and everything is racist, when really America is like the least racist country in the fucking world. When you really think about it. Well,
the other thing too is like they want to pretend like America was the only country that had slavery and it was only a uniquely American problem, and that's kind of the issue. So, and the reason why it's popping up everywhere is it's the idea of you have to dismantle the West because there's something inherently wrong and racist and oppressive about Western culture and Western civilization that has to be torn down. The UK doesn't have the same problems that we do with police brutality.
It's
why
the media.
Would they be, why would they be protesting?
It's all the media pushing.
I don't think it's just the media, man.
Well, it's a big part of it. In a sense that, look, it's like the whole Joker thing. They didn't get us to freak out over Joker, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's the first thing they do with this whole thing is they push this so hard in the news media that it literally sets off protests and rioting. So then they're covering the peaceful protests, then mostly peaceful protest. Then they couldn't deny it anymore that these motherfuckers were out there rioting. Okay. And whether it wasn't necessarily the BLM people rioting, there was other people inciting it and stuff like that. I don't want to sit here and sound like I'm saying only one side was doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're somebody who watches more than just CNN, CNBC, Fox News, or any 24-hour news channel, and you actually are seeing different sides of the story, then it's a very different picture than what most of those places are trying to, push. I mean, you've got both extremes on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
And
here's one thing too. I want to read this. Unfortunately, it didn't make it over into StreamYard because I had to prove it. But it's coming from Robert Frey. And he says, "White fragility. All white people are racist. You object. That's proof you're racist." And that's exactly it. And there was a really interesting YouTube video that was shared to me by Thundercats Ho that kind of talked about all this stuff. And it's like that's the natural built-in defense to all this is white fragility. If you're mad about it, this makes you angry.
Exactly.
White fragility.
Well, it's the same thing with the whole, well, if you think you're being oppressed, then it's just because you're afraid of losing your white privilege kind of thing. That whole thing. Well, it's like the whole John Wayne thing. I got an argument with somebody.
Is equality.
Yeah. It's like, like the whole John Wayne thing, changing his name on the airport. Okay, whatever, fine, do it. But the worst part of it is how he's being painted as such a racist. Like, I got into an argument with somebody who's like, who I actually thought was an intelligent person. And I'm just like, really? You really think that John Wayne was that much of a racist? Like, literally every day of his life, every other breath he took, he was spewing the most racist shit you could ever think of. No. And most of the time his thoughts, yeah, they may have been out of date, but for the time period that he came from, if you actually read the interview that he's being canceled again for, which is the same one from a year ago, he's actually sounds a lot
back up again.
Yes, and they're trying to do it again. Yeah, because it didn't work last time, so this time they're going to make it stick. Well, and that's just it. If you know the one I'm talking about.
They can now. That's the reason why. Because of all the shit that's going on. What's up, Christy? How's it going? Yes, we're assholes. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's so weird about it is that now's the time to do it because it will stick because of all the shit that's going on right now.
And like Nano Reaper said, his thoughts were from the 60s. But you know what? If you actually read that interview and take into consideration that this is a guy who was born in the early 1900s, and this interview was taken in the 60s and what was going on, and take all that into context and what he's saying, he's actually pretty fucking progressive for a lot of people his age in that time.
Well,
probably.
Can I point out a few things that historical reference here? I mean, there's no perfect parallel to what's going on right now. But mind you, the last time there was a real concerted global push to make everyone communist, we got World War II.
Yep.
Soviet Union, Mao, bunch of smaller countries, and then, of course, when they tried to turn Germany communist. And look what happened there.
Well, here's the funny thing too, is that recently there's a city in Germany that put up a statue of Lenin.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Okay. Why is Germany, who had absolutely nothing to do with communist Russia, why are they putting up a statue of Lenin? That makes no sense.
Well, they've kind of flirted with communism for quite a while. I think I mentioned this on the last cast, actually, that leading up to World War II, the elites there, which were the same kind of elites that are doing it right now, were importing communist insurgents and riling up the public to collapse the government and make it an ally of the Soviet Union, by the way, and to turn the nation communist. And it blew up in their faces magnificently.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, and we're seeing it happen once again. And may I also note that now we've got BLM in the UK and in the United States chanting about wanting to, what was it, death to Israel?
Really? No surprise there.
BLM UK made a very strong stance that they were against Israel and that they sided with the Palestinian people. And the way that it was worded, it was very clear what they really meant. And then in DC today at the march, instead of it being anything about cops, they were screaming about Israel murders Palestinians too. And it was the same group of protesters. And it was a bizarre long rant about Israel and
there's definitely anti-Semites that are within the leadership of BLM. And that's part of my issue with BLM is the fact that I'm not going to support any organization that is anti-Semitic. My wife is Jewish. Why the fuck would I support you? Not
just that. I think it's unwise to support anything that puts one race above any other.
Yeah.
I think that's the hypocrisy, and this goes back around to what I got here on the screen here. The other side of this, besides the media, is the fucking red and blue haired fucking land whales out there that think everything is fucking wrong and they live with such white guilt every goddamn. Seriously. And they're cucks.
But all this is really kind of beginning to make sense to me with the whole thing with the Great Reset, because I think that this is the push to make it happen. You know, they're demanding things that would basically make the system socialist, like the whole idea of trying to address wealth disparity in certain ways and whatnot. You know, it's makes me wonder, man. Makes me wonder what the future looks like. And of course, if certain people get into power, it's gonna make it happen.
Well, again, I will maintain that if they force it on us, it's not going to happen. What they're going to get is a World War III. I don't think people will just there's going to be enough nations and enough individuals that say, screw this. I mean, look, Brexit passed, twice.
But the shit's happening in the UK.
Yeah. Well, this is actually partially a reaction to Brexit. They expected Brexit to never happen. They were convinced that everyone was just merely going to go along with it. And ever since that and Trump, the globalists have been panicking and trying their damnedest to make sure they can regain ground. And their actions are becoming more and more blatant. I mean, they're not even hiding anymore. That used to be their benefit.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. I mean, you see the shit that's going on with Reddit right now? Like the comments that they made in their policy that it's okay to discriminate against the majority. You can abuse and, discriminate against the majority. It's like so fucked up. Actually, I got to turn my camera off real quick because it's having issues.
Continue on that path. I mean, we're already seeing average Americans pulling guns and fighting back. You think that's going to stop?
No, I don't.
And I honestly believe that if someone gets elected and tries to make the Great Reset happen here, you're going to have at least half the military fighting you.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's what I mean by it's not going to go the way they think. It's going to lead to, oh God, a massive conflict that frankly, we should be smarter than this. I mean, we should know better by now,
Well, it's kind of that George Carlin quote, right? It's like, think of the average American, think that they're, realize how stupid they are, and then realize that the rest of society is even dumber than that. I mean, I don't think that's really that true, but I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of.
Yeah, he's not far off. I don't think.
At their most panicked, that would be accurate.
Yeah. So,
one of my examples about the public's just not going to go along with it was showing their arrogance and showing just how disconnected they are. COVID happens. Bill Gates suddenly comes out of nowhere, just thrilled to death it's happening, and wants to.
So fucking benefits him. That's why.
Mm-hmm. I think he's been vying for a presidential run for a while now.
But,
I don't think it's just presidential. I think Bill Gates realized that he couldn't take over the world with his operating system, but he could take over the world with his the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had spent ever since the 90s, he's been trying to repair his image. I mean, they had him shot in the face in the South Park movie, and he spent since the late 90s till now trying to fix his image with the public. And he goes public with, I want you all to be able to live. Have a subscription to immunities yearly. You'll have to have an implant to track you, and your freedom of movement will be limited by which vaccinations you're up to date on.
So fucking.
Yeah, he wants us all to be Borg.
Again, this is something that's going to benefit him because this is who is going to be handling all this. Who's going to be issuing the digital IDs of immunity?
The guy that didn't even invent DOS, but bought it from someone else, rebranded it, sold it, then bought Windows from someone else, rebranded it, sold it.
Xerox.
Yeah.
What I want to point out is, you notice he came out, the press tried their damnedest to portray him as a saint. He's immediately scum again. Everybody is like, this guy's creepy. It failed magnificently.
Well, it is a very chilling and kind of sinister prospect what he's got planned. I mean, because number one, he plays monopoly on that, essentially on that coronavirus vaccine, and then what happens when the next thing comes out, and then you're talking about internally microchipping people, and he's talking about doing it as well. There's rumors out there that he'd do it even without people's knowledge. I mean, you can just shoot something in their bloodstream, it's microchip. You could get now really, really, really tiny.
Well, the thing
That'd
that
be
they're
a
talking
nano
about was
chip.
like actually there being like a dye in the injection.
Yeah, exactly. And
Well, this is what I was afraid of, is them using this whole thing as an excuse to try and control us more, which they have been.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, you're spot on, Tom, because I mean that's what they want. Don't forget, this guy is like the father of population control. He wants that. He openly, talks about that. Oh, we have to reduce the population. Like,
No, we don't. We have more than enough space for twice as many people.
well,
And with technology's increasement,
resources
we can actually
we
get further
may not.
across with less, actually.
I was gonna say
Right.
it depends on the resource you're
Well,
talking about.
they've
but
actually
yeah.
they've been saying that there is going to be this huge food crisis for
yeah.
We
a
were
while,
supposed to
but
60 years.
well, no, it was far back. I want to say it was like late 1800s where this guy was predicting a food crisis.
No,
But the thing,
Oh, yeah, that guy.
yeah, that's
No, we
the
had
guy.
the opposite problem though. We had a food surplus.
Well, yeah, and a lot of that, what he didn't take into account was the idea of advancement in technologies when it came to growing food.
Whatever.
Malthusian thinking has always had that problem.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to call it, whether it's New World Order, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, he is definitely up there in that pyramid. He's not like up at the tops, but he's around the middle, and he is definitely has a fairly decent position of power with the foundation, and also the fact that yes, he is all 100% about controlling the population.
I don't believe in the Illuminati, though. I'm going to say,
It's unsustainable model.
I don't buy that either. But
you want to know why? I'll tell you right now. And it doesn't matter how you feel about Trump. The fact that he's president proves that there's no fucking such thing as an Illuminati.
Well, no,
okay, hey, hang on. There actually was an Illuminati, but that was like in the 1800s.
Well, right, I mean, like, there's no
Yeah.
secret fucking government running shit. Because if they were, there is no way that either side that this was not going to happen that way. Because one side wouldn't have wanted it to for one reason, and the other one's, it just was not going to happen.
But
that's how I know.
I agree with you. But the other thing too, to think that and because my mom's a huge conspiracy theorist, and I was talking to her, it's like I get it. Okay, there's a lot of rich people in the world. Do they meet and talk about business and going forward? I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, but are
the people with the money control the world? I firmly believe that.
Yeah.
Now, is it a secret cabal? I don't think it is.
I don't know. It's pretty convenient how, let's see, Clinton's mentioned the New World Order. Let's see, during the Bush presidency, what did they mention? New World Order.
Yeah, but let's face it, if there really was an Illuminati, the Clintons would have won the presidency. End of discussion. Trump is a wild card no matter which way you cut it. Like I said, whether you're pro-Trump or anti-Trump. The fact that he's in there, the fact that he's not the rich elite anymore because he isn't as rich.
He's an anomaly, though.
And the fact that he's, a non-conformist when it comes to the other side of things. Right there, you got to the point where he's not in that, or he is the smartest motherfucker in the world. And I'm sorry, there's no way anybody's going to convince me of that. But yeah, he's a great. He's
an independent posing as a Republican.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say he's a New York Democrat posing as a Republican.
That's probably more accurate.
80s New York Democrat. Yeah.
Well, listen. The thing is, though, is he's the buffer. He's a wild card because the fact was that he was an anomaly. He won. And nobody expected it to happen. He basically snuck in and got votes at the right time.
Yeah, but see, you're talking in a world where a lot of ifs and ands and buts. If there is an Illuminati / government running things underneath the government, Trump would have never won. And we would have never knew that he won. That's my point.
Well, they would have controlled it. Is not a government. It's supposed to be a secret.
No, I know, but I'm just saying if they were trying to control everything and do this like this, Trump was not going to be part of their plan. They would have made it happen to where we'd have never known he won. That's my point. The fact that he won showed me that there is too much going on as a wild card out there for them to have some kind of organized fucking organization, whether it's the Illuminati, a secret government of people, the 1%ers, whatever.
Dude, it's just a globalist.
I do think that there are people who are trying to manipulate things. I mean, just look at, for example,
that's not money.
The whole thing with the Great Reset. Okay,
but yeah, no.
Well, not.
But as far as
there's several people trying to manipulate things, and they're all fighting each other for it, and that's why there's the chaos we have.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you've got too much people arguing over shit behind it. Like, if it was the Koch brothers running shit, if like they got certain things going with Trump, then I'd believe you. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like what I'm saying. He's too much of a wild card in that sense. And this is coming from somebody who's not even really that political. So
Tom, you're one of my best friends. I just hope you don't think I'm a crazy nutso ass.
No, and everybody.
No, crazy nutso. You're not an ass.
I'm just telling you what I'm just telling you the way I see it.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, because I could be fucking wrong too, man. Mm-hmm. I want to believe I'm right, because I want to believe that this was proof that there isn't this secret organization trying to control us all. Other than Bill Gates, I can believe him.
Yeah, but
it's his own personal shit. Like, he's not part of this like organization.
I repeat, the moment he actually came into the light and said what he wanted, everybody hated him again. His image is killed all over. It's gone. Whatever goodwill he had managed over the last 20 years is gone. He's creepy again.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the reason why I kind of theorize this stuff, and I want to make clear so that people understand. I'm not just pulling it out of left field. I went and I did a lot of research a few years back on UN Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, which Agenda 2030 is the updated version of. And, I went down that rabbit hole and I researched and looked at that stuff. And all of that points towards, the world elite essentially destabilizing the nation state system.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude. I think you're right on that.
In order to one world government, all of us. And here's the thing.
That's an American plan, right?
What better? Yes, it is, Script Doctor.
Started by Woodrow Wilson.
And that's what makes it. That's what makes Wilson. That's what makes it worse. But the thing is when you look at it, okay, the crown jewel of this whole thing to get the ball rolling is destabilize the U.S.
Yeah.
That's
hang on a second. Since Toxic Man Flu showed up and he sent me something, I got to go grab this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You get. I know that Ishii will like this. Check this out. It's a Front 242 mug.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Thanks, Tox. That's awesome of you, man. Yeah. I'm proudly housing it on my display case, which you guys can't see because it's too fucking dark.
but yeah, I mean, I'm not a crazy, freaking conspiracy theorist. I'm just, I'm lining it up logically and that's why I tend to go along the theory of the New World Order sense, because if you pay attention to who kind of mentions that, it talks about it up over the years, over the decades of different administrations, you can kind of put together a pattern as to who's involved.
Yeah, it's all weird. Hang on, guys. I got a super chat I got to take care of because it's been lingering for a while. From the 13th Warrior, $5 super chat. I love that. That's great, dude. They say a person's identity / gender is a construct of society. Why then would they expect anyone to think differently than was common in the past? And here's the thing that's so weird about it. Gender is the cultural expression of what it means to be masculine or feminine. And a lot of that has to do with, like hair length and style of clothing. And that's the thing that kind of drives me nuts about the whole thing with gender is, it is binary. It's binary as sex. It's the idea of what it means to be masculine and feminine or feminine in a particular society.
Yeah, and if it's just a construct, then there is no masculine or feminine. So you can't actually be gender neutral, gender fluid, gender this, gender that, or because I've heard people argue there's some cultures that have a third gender where the men become feminine. Like, well, that's not really a third gender. That's just a man acting feminine.
Technically the third gender, if you take it from like a romance language perspective, goddamn, my camera turned off again.
The third gender is hermaphrodite.
Yeah, I was gonna say if there's anything, it's that, and that's it. And I'm sorry, baby. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings in the chat, and I've been called several names too. But that's kind of my look. You tear away the cultural shit in every society, and you go back to the nitty gritty, like primordial. Everything's set up on a basis. You had the gatherers and the hunters, and you had the nurturers, right?
Yeah.
And it's a natural thing that came from inside instincts. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't, homosexuality natural in society. I'm not saying that there wasn't men who were, more comfortable in more domestic roles than they were in the other roles. That's just, we all are different, right?
I'm pretty sure there's a stigma against men that became farmers instead of hunters when they discovered agriculture.
Oh, I'm sure, but that's just it. That's a stigma. That's not anything to do with.
Well, the other thing too, what I was getting at is like the whole idea of, within Latin, for example, is that you had male or masculine, feminine, and then neuter words. And neuter was because of the whole thing with the eunuch, and that was like your third gender. Was the idea of a eunuch,
or basically genderless? Yeah, basically, yeah, like asexual.
And it can only happen to men.
Yeah, and it can only happen. Well, it's like you do see this in culture. In India, you have the hijras, which are basically men that adopt the persona of a woman, and they're typically prostitutes. I mean, yeah, so technically you can say that they're trans, and this has been going on for a very, very long time in Indian society. But yeah, it's like, yeah, it happens in some societies. It's not that prevalent like they say it is.
No, it's like 1% of 1%.
Well, and that's the problem we have with it all being in our fucking entertainment. It's like, okay, we get you want some diversity, but at the same time, you're wondering why shit's going to hell when you're literally aiming your entertainment at the 1% of 1% of the fucking society.
But then we get Abby.
Dear Abby.
And how many Abbies are there in society? How many people are there really like Abby? That's the question, because that's what these people want. They want you to be able to identify with the character, folks. They've gotten to the point where it's gotten so fucking bad that if you're black, you can't unless you're black, you can't do the voice of a black person. Unless you're Indian, you can't do the voice of an Indian person in a cartoon. It's gotten to that point, folks.
By the way,
what are we going to go after Nancy Cartwright for doing Bart Simpson, though? No, probably not. Are we going to go after Phil Lamar for doing Samurai Jack? Not a chance. Sorry. Anyway, Ishi, you were going to say something.
Well, speaking of the whole trans thing, have you been noticing the trend that more and more Black Americans that are involved with Black Lives Matter are beginning to realize they're not talking about blacks anymore? Legality, and they're all beginning to notice, wait a minute, why are we constantly talking about trans people? We don't like trans people. No, have you know, there's been more.
I haven't seen that. That's interesting.
There are more and more black people that are kind of like low level on BLM saying, wait a minute, why are we constantly talking about trans people?
Because of intersectionality. Intersectional feminism is the answer.
I do want to make a quick statement. I want to mark myself safe from persecution. I am Asian, and I also play one on YouTube.
Except for when you're playing a woman.
Are you sure? Do you have a card? Oh, you can't play a white girl now.
Yeah, you're gender appropriating and culturally appropriating
that's problematic.
That's okay. White people don't count, remember? You can
well, this sucks because I can't do Eddie Murphy now then.
You can't do Tommy Chong.
Do it.
Technically, you're right.
Do it. and there's no need to apologize, Tom, for going off. It's perfectly cool.
It just gets really this shit's really starting to bug me bad.
Conspiracy companies, like structures like that, always collapse. They can't sustain themselves because there's always someone vying for the top, and whoever's at the top is spending more time trying to stay in their position than being able to do anything. It's a snake eating its own tail. It rarely ever works for any long term. They may get 2 or 3 things done, and then it just collapses all over again until someone tries to restart it. It's unsustainable. And to further to your point, Drew, there are a lot of people that are pushing for a global type level of society and economy far earlier than when it's going to happen, because it will eventually happen. As societies grow and develop and stuff, things are going to be sort of leveled out and then building on top of that from country to country, and eventually will have to consolidate in some way or form. They can't be pushing on it to us now because there are so many countries less developed than ours, and we also have our own crap to deal with, that if you force it on us, we're just going to make a bigger mess than if we just left ourselves alone to do our own thing and try and get ourselves, more stable, so that when we become as ready as a species to have something that more integrated with everybody's interconnected, it's not going to do damage, and it's not going to happen within decades. It's going to happen within centuries.
Yeah, because if it happens now, it's going to simply turn out to be one authoritarian global world government, and it's not going to turn out well for the majority of people. And that's why, because I think that's the concern that most people have. They know that it's gonna, if that were to happen right now, and nobody is, amenable. Not a lot of people are amenable to it, and people enjoy, like, they have pride in their countries.
Yeah.
They enjoy the concept of a nation state. Why wouldn't you? I'm proud of this country. I'm a very proud American. I'm a patriot, damn it.
And if they're not proud of this country, they start their own little commie zone in a city.
Exactly.
Real.
Exactly.
They try to plant stuff on top of cardboard.
Exactly.
Oh man, you hear, like, basically you have people saying that the Chaz actually literally is a war zone, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's fucking
They've
ridiculous.
had what?
Well,
5,
it's
6
definitely
shootings now?
it's definitely the most localized third world nation you'll see in
Oh my
Seattle for
God,
a
it's
while.
fucking ridiculous. All right,
Actually, I
real
think
quick.
the third world would be like, well, we're better than that right
Yeah,
now.
probably.
We can at least farm.
Culture Casino for a $1.49 super sticker, which is a very phallic unicorn. Thank you, Culture Casino. And we also have a $5 super chat from Toxic Man Flu. Like the beer bug, less than 0.0035% chance of dying from it, but everyone's freaking out. We have become a society of sheep, all due to advertising. I don't think it's just advertising, but
Well, the media is pushing it. I don't know
media's
about that
pushing it,
percentage though, because I've actually known quite a few people who have actually died.
I clicked on this by accident, but we'll read it anyway. Look at BLM's website. They actually list black trans at the top of the list and go out of their way to exclude black men. Well, because the reason why they exclude black men is that they're the new white people. According to the
welcome black men to our crowd, man. I like people, so yeah, let's bring them over.
Yeah, the Root wrote an article about this like 2 years ago, saying that black men are the new white people. It's pretty fucking funny.
Can we start a new movement? Just normal people matter.
Or how about our lives matter, as all of us as humans?
Well, that's too close to all lives matter.
But it's about us. It's not about everyone. It's about us.
I know. Well, I'm just saying. Well, that's the same thing.
Yeah,
with normal,
I know.
because like normal people, are like, well, hey, I'm a normal person. Well, no, you're not, because you got that stupid shit in your fucking bio, yo.
Oh, this is so weird.
I was thinking about just putting the word pronouns in my bio, but not actual pronouns, just word pronouns as a joke.
That's so weird. So when I pull up the 13th Warriors, I was looking at it on while it's live, the icon image doesn't pull up. That's really weird. Anyway, I was trying to make the point that a person would naturally have the attitudes prevalent during their time, like John Wayne. However, these cancel types want to punish them for that. And the funny thing is, the man's dead. I mean, you can't cancel John Wayne other than changing the name of the airport, I guess. And that's dumb. That's so fucking dumb.
Yeah,
it's just the thing is
they weren't able to kill Gone with the Wind.
Probably.
No, they actually HBO Max did a smart thing by doing a really good like intro to it, where it was like kind of very unbiased, and I mean it was unnecessary, but at least it didn't give the woke culture exactly what they wanted.
So what did the intro
their
say?
nose at them?
It kind of is, but at the same time, isn't it that next step though? That's what I'm
afraid of. It is still the next step, absolutely. Like I still don't like it, but I like the only thing I like about it is the fact that it thumbs the nose at the cancel culture concept.
Because I even have to rethink because I used to praise, that Whoopi Goldberg, they had that deal on the Looney Tunes and whatever, but it's like, is that really the right thing to do? I mean, we're gotten to a point where what's the next step? I started editing everything, and yeah, sorry, you were going to say something, Comics. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Well, have any of you looked at Gone with the Wind sales on Amazon?
Oh yeah,
they went through the roof.
No, now I remember what I was talking about. I was like, so what do they say? What was the intro that they put in front of it?
Oh, she just talks about the achievements of the film, and that yes, it doesn't address everything with regards to slavery, but that's not important. That's not what the film's about. And yeah, like it's just it's like 4 minutes. It's cogent. It reminds me of TBO, Saturday Night at the Movies, and Turner Classic Films. Whenever they do a little blurb right before the film about the film, it was more about the film as opposed to this has got historically bad content thing type of crap. So yeah, it was like better than what I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be some sort of like trite crap, but Yeah, it was more in the kind of the Turner Classic Movies, TVO, Saturday Night the Movie stuff. But it's still like, I agree with Tom. It's not a good idea to do something like that because you're then opening the door for subtlety of manipulation of art.
Yeah, because the next step is, we're just going to edit this, which they already have. I mean, that's just it. It's been okay to do certain things, and we keep letting them get away with it. And like I said a couple times now on different podcasts, we've already let stupid win too many times.
Yes,
stupid has gotten to be able to go too far with things already that by the time you start saying no, they're going to go, but why?
Yeah. You've caved so far.
Yeah. Why would stop now?
So there's two things I want to point out. The first one is what Robert Frey is saying: preserve ye physical media, yes, and go and buy it. And the other thing too is to go out and go vote. If you don't like that, if you see shit you don't like, go vote.
And if you don't see a candidate that's exercising common sense, you might be the person that has to reluctantly run yourself.
Yeah.
That's just the sad nature. Because sometimes you're stuck where it's like, I'm voting for the lesser of two evils, and you're like, well, maybe I might have the conviction to do it. And if you don't want to do it, then you're probably the right person to maybe take on the responsibility.
Well, the other thing too, man, it's like I never thought I would get to this point because I'm not a fan of Trump, but I think a lot of people are coming to this point. It's like, you can't let Biden win. Just saying, man. And I hate to get political, folks. I really do. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm like 4 years ago. It's like, I don't fucking care. Vote for you want to vote for. But if Biden gets in, man, I not to be overly hyperbolic.
The VP yet?
Yeah, I think it would be the end of the U.S. as we know it.
Yeah, it will, because like, listen, the whole concept when this shit switched around, the whole concept of like the intersectional feminism, social justice, all this shit, when it festered and started coming out, and now that it's boiled over, anything that they tell you is progressive, it's regressive. It's all it does. It undoes any sort of organic progress that was made, and you're trying to replace that with artificial progress based on lies, and that'll never work. You can't make progress based on bullshit. You can't do it. Because at the end of the day, bullshit is bullshit.
Because then you start communist farming and communist, plant sciences, and you starve.
Yeah.
You know about that, the artificially, the famine in Russia?
No.
Where they started, communist horticulture, that they based horticulture and farming practices on communist theory. And they ended up starving.
Well, I remember what they did is that they said, like, all these people, they have the farms, they're rich. We'll take them away, and we'll have you guys go and harvest the food. And apparently that didn't work out so well because the farmers are the ones that knew what the fuck they were doing.
This was actually a scientist who had gotten popular by essentially telling the party what they wanted, and so that he could prove that plants themselves were communist.
Oh God! Seriously, I was about to make a joke, and that this is probably coming. Is like there's probably going to be feminist farming theory at some point. Yeah,
only female breeds of plants.
Well, no, it's like they're the intersectionalists for a while were trying to equate like it was the weird like veg femmes. They were basically vegan feminists, and they were trying to equate the oppression of women to animals. Yeah, it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
But we need animals for fertilizer to grow their vegan foods.
Yeah, real quick. And Toxic Man Flu is absolutely correct. Local elections count more than the president. I would say it depends on the president. But yes, they are important. Obviously, those are the things that impact you the most. And there was another thing too.
It's still a team thing with their checks and balances. You still need your senators, your governors, your congressmen to be working together with the president for whatever progress or new laws or programs they want to enact.
And this is the other
starts
thing
up from the bottom up.
Yeah, this is the other thing too. I'm concerned about is Biden wins by 1A 2A. Those are the kind of yes, kind of no.
Again, House and Senate need to be on his side.
Yeah, if you have a Democratic House and Senate and they call for a Constitutional convention, we're fucked, folks. It's all over, man. It's all over.
They'd have to have what 60 seats.
I guess
in the Senate.
Kiss your rights goodbye if that happens. If anyone, honestly, if anybody calls the Constitutional Convention at this point, whether it be Democratic or Republican,
I repeat, if they do that, it's civil war overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing too, because of the fact that how gun sales have gone up through the roof this year because of COVID and now the protest, if they tried to repeal the Second Amendment, I mean, you're legit going to see.
Well, I would think the military would immediately turn on the representatives if they even go after the First Amendment, because again, the military swears more of an oath to a constitution to the people than the president.
Remember, I was telling you the story about the cop who said, we only catch the dumb ones. Now, granted, he was an Arizona cop. I will keep that in mind. But another thing that was like universal among everyone in the department was essentially, well, if the zombies try to take over, we're all ready.
Yep.
And zombie was essentially a code for when the liberals try to change things. That was their code. And they didn't mean it. I mean, all of them were kind of under the notion that they did not serve the federal government, that they served the state. And it was very clear where they stood.
Yeah.
Well, I heard something that Tim Pool mentioned that there's like a lot of police that are joining militias these days, which is kind of interesting.
Well,
I'm only concerned about the police that are walking off the job, because then you realize they're not as committed to the oath they swore as you thought they were.
Well, dude, I don't know, man. Especially when we're putting them in positions where that whole thing that happened in Atlanta, where they're trying that guy for murder and you can get the death penalty.
It's bullshit.
That is bullshit. It's a completely different circumstance.
Although that's fair. But wasn't there a community where like 6 precincts, all the cops just up and quit?
Multiple. New York has been having a wave after wave. Jersey has. Atlanta has. Minneapolis has.
It's been happening everywhere. Yeah, I know. Minneapolis has, because obviously what shit's going on there. But really quick, Draco 6, $5 super chat. Stalin collectivist farm famine killed more than the Holocaust. Well, yeah, communism.
I don't even think they have. I know that it killed more. I don't even think they have the exact numbers of, like, it's countless to the point.
Well, the thing that's ridiculous is that we talk about the Nazis and the Holocaust, as we should. But the thing that nobody talks about is how the communists killed more than the Nazis did.
Oh, I learned that in history.
Yeah. But nobody fucking talks about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess, it had impact. Well, I mean, I learned it in Canada because it had impact, because a lot of the people that emigrated to Canada during that time were from those countries that escaped and fled their lives.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I was talking about. I don't know if that was the case in the United States, because again, the history only focused on Canada's relation with how Mao's China and Russia was being like horrible to their citizens, and also warned us how Karl Marx perverted the original ideals of socialism so that he can convince people to get on his side, and then you do the class warfare, and then proletariat and the bourgeoisie, and then basically you just create a dictator who then imposes himself as a religious figure, as a god on earth, and then that just throws everything away. And you got tons and tons and tons of murder through famine and execution and imprisonment, and oh god, it's horrible. It should be talked about more.
Well, how long did you think it was going to take before they went after Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
They haven't already. I thought they did a while back.
They've been going after it for a while. It's that now's the opportunity, as they say, don't let a good crisis get to waste.
Yeah.
And
New York Times: Mount Rushmore was built on land that belonged to the Lakota tribe and sculpted by a man who had strong bonds with the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, here's the thing.
We've known for what,
two
decades?
U.S.
I'm gonna tell you
presidents who
cold
had
hard fact.
Yeah.
They lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They were conquered.
Yeah. What's
Happened to my people too, folks. Happened to my people too.
What's
In
the old?
Canada, we bought the land, because
Yeah,
and actually part of the reason why the United States kind of fought for independence is because King Henry or King George, I think it was King George, said that we can't take the land, we have to negotiate to buy it, and Canada did that, and the negotiations weren't really fair. For the
New
First
York,
Nations
they did
people.
the exact same thing too. They bought the land from the natives, but
They bought the land, but other parts of the states they didn't buy. They just
they conquered it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of how it was in Canada, and I learned that not from white and black teachers in high school and education, but from my Native Canadian First Nations teachers who detailed out how the deal went and why it was done, and how it could have been better and how it could have gotten worse, and how British Columbia, they made the deal but nobody exchanged any money, so now that's why their First Nations people there are suing the province. And yeah, it's a whole thing. The other part too is that a lot of the cultures, they don't consider land as property, they just consider it as control. So you don't own the land, but it's just who controls it. And that's also some language barrier issue as well to be addressed between the cultures. So it's a very complicated thing. Yeah.
The Lakota fought over that land where Rushmore is for millennia, apparently.
It changed hands all the time.
So, I mean, if we give it back to the Lakota, who are they going to give it back to?
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
the Sioux, the Navajo.
That's the thing that's so what I'm kind of getting at is that it's very apparent, because you could look and see the difference between a European and Native American, right? Because of physical features. The shit that's gone on in Europe, you really can't tell anymore because everyone's fucking white. I mean, it's like, yeah, you still have those kind of tribal lines in Ireland, and it's between Ireland, Northern Ireland, stuff like that. But for the most part, there was a lot of conquering going on between different peoples throughout Europe, throughout history, all the way through the Middle Ages. And obviously it kind of stopped at some point. But yes, it's the only reason why people can honestly give a shit about it now is because there is a visible difference between the peoples.
Well, and not only that, I mean, and not to jump to the subject, but to go back to like the Gone with the Wind thing and all this other business. I don't understand why they're acting like things are. That's the other part I was getting at. The media is making everybody think things are so much worse than they really fucking are. Like with the racism stuff and the equality business. It's not as bad as the media is making everybody think it is.
No.
Otherwise, if that was the case, Eddie Murphy would have never been the number one star of the 80s. You wouldn't have had Michael Jackson as the number one music artist in the 80s. Even in the 60s and 70s.
You can rationalize that with cultural appropriation.
Little Richard and all them wouldn't have never. That's the thing, though, is like
they're not getting the recognition they deserve, Tom.
I know you're being facetious here, but
I know I am being.
The problem is the cream rises to the fucking top. Is my point.
I know, dude.
It doesn't matter. They even tried to keep them down with rock and roll. Go ahead.
What's more insulting than addressing like a quote unquote systemic racism problem than putting a disclaimer in front of God with the Wind? That's the most insulting, lazy thing you can possibly do.
Exactly. And that's my point is if it was so hard to do, if it was that bad, if things were so rough, then bullshit, because it was guys like Little Richard who broke through the barrier of rock and roll. Because remember, it was, we can't have these black folks out there singing these songs. No. And then they said, fuck that. Little Richard finally got played on the radio. Guess what? He's a huge fucking musician. Same thing with Chuck Berry. Those two alone basically invented rock and roll. Okay, now they didn't really invent it. They technically stole it. But, again, this goes back to the whole thing. It doesn't matter where you go to the beginning of history. Sooner or later, somewhere you're going to get back to the point where somebody did something fucking bad before you got to the better part of things. Okay? But if you're going to sit here and hold everybody responsible for shit that happened hundreds of fucking years ago, guess what? Half this panel, half you out in there chat can say, now, wait a minute. My fucking grandparents didn't even come here or my great-grandparents came here on a boat after slavery was already done. What the fuck does that have to do with me? That's where I'm at with this shit. And it's the same thing like you guys were talking about with the that's history. Either you adapt or you get conquered. One or the other. It's just the way things have gone till we've gotten to this point where you live somewhere where nobody else wants to live.
Yeah, the other thing too is I want to point out the only reason why the Native Americans got beat by the Europeans is because they had a plague before they showed up, and it decimated the population like severely.
Yeah, and then the other part is people are conflating colonialism with imperialism. Imperialism is where you just rob the cultural identity and destroy it, and colonialism is you just populate a land that's either occupied or not. Like it's a colony. You set up something for a foundation, and if there's someone else that wants to claim land, then you have a conflict. But if you try to appropriate them and try to remove them from their own culture and make them adapt to yours, that's imperialism.
Yeah. So really quick,
they keep complaining the two.
I want to grab the super chat from Toxic Manflu for $5. I am Park Creek. Indians had a chance if they banded together, but they didn't. Tecumseh tried to organize them, but they didn't trust each other. And
that's a very good point. Yeah.
Well, no, not only that. Well, that's the thing that's really interesting. Like I said, my degree is in anthropology, right? And I took several classes on Native Americans, and one of my teachers was a very prominent Native American anthropologist, and it's really interesting because like the whole thing is like most of the names. I think it's like the Apache and Comanche. I don't remember. It's been a while, folks. But the translation is like the people. I think it's the Cherokee where and there's actually a number of tribes where the name of their tribe literally translates to the people. So
or if you're the Apache, it's Navajo for enemy.
Yeah, there's that too. But it's really funny because that was, I wouldn't say their arrogance, but they viewed themselves to be the one people, and then the other tribes to be beneath them. And
every culture thinks they're the chosen people.
It's so true. It is, man, and that's the thing that's funny about it.
Wait, we aren't the chosen people?
Not Canada. It's not even a real country anyway.
Well, our country is technically called the Village.
It's the 51st state,
translate it to Kanata, it's the Village.
No, but that's the whole point. Like I think that you're getting to there, comics. Sorry, is that every society, every culture thinks they're the chosen ones. They're the special ones. They're the ones who are going to conquer all. They're the ones who are the smartest, the brightest.
Not only that, it's the funny thing.
God chose them. Yeah.
Well, it's not just that too, but when they talk about the whole thing with intrinsic bias within your group, they're not wrong. But that everybody fucking does this, whether you black, white, Hispanic.
We're kind of doing it right now.
Yeah. The whole idea of your own intrinsic bias towards your own group is a very human thing. But they want to spin
it like it's, when you look at your parents after you're born, you recognize like you can't help that. You are stuck with those two people.
Well, not only that. I mean, and this is the thing too, is like looking back, most nations are ethno-states, right? With the exception of America, where it became the melting pot, where everybody came in. But like Japan is an ethno-state. It's primarily the majority of the people in Japan are Japanese. Same thing with China, very homogenized. Same thing with India. Same thing with Pakistan. Same thing, with a lot of different countries in Africa as well.
China to stand.
China to stand. But
that'd be North Korea stand.
Yeah, North Korea stand. Yeah. Well, you get the idea. And the funny thing is they're trying to change that thing, change it in Europe where you have, Europe has to take these refugees. It has to be, it can't be homogenized like these other countries, which I find so kind of weird. But
I like the fact that Canada is just kind of like the cantina of the world, where just anyone can come in from any country. You can set up your own shop and do your own thing separately, but you can also integrate without any problems and whatnot. And
don't be a hoser, eh?
Yeah, don't be a hoser.
That's right. What were you going to say, Drew? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying that with this whole thing, it's weird. It feels almost like right now, the way this stuff is popping off, it's almost like the end game is they're not going to stop until it goes so far. And it's like what you said, Comics Division. If Biden gets in, I almost feel like they're going to let it go to where there's like an atrocity, where there's like an ethnic cleansing against white.
Fucking A, dude. I mean, Biden is a segregationist.
Yeah, and he would allow something like that to happen. Like seriously, like the way that these militant groups are coming out, because they stopped being peaceful protesters about 5 minutes in. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna just end white people. Yeah, well, he probably.
Well, here's the other thing too. Why was he made Obama's VP?
Oh, because
I can't remember.
To improve his image.
Yeah,
because he was known as the segregationist, and to prove he wasn't racist, they made him Obama's VP. And it's because he wanted to run, obviously.
Well, not to go against what you guys are talking about now, but like Drew was bringing up a point there in the beginning that I that was going to be one of my big questions here. Is I would love to ask some of these BLM people and some of the other people on the other side exactly what it is their ultimate goal is. Like, what is it that they're shooting for? Because I don't know if any of them really know.
If you ask, they don't know.
That's what I'm saying, and that's
well,
why
common amongst many protesters of the later 20th century.
Well, what they want is
century.
to tear down oppressive systems, which translates to fucking everything.
Well, guess what they learned? Is they tried to change that one law or whatever to protect gay people and all that kind of stuff. It's like the law already does. It's like we don't need to change shit. It works, folks. Guess what?
Well, it doesn't help. They get a whole shit ton of money and to be like disruptive. A lot of these groups do, and there's similar groups like there's BLM chapters. There's similar groups all around the countries, around the entire globe, because assholes like Soros and other people are funding them, and just allowing them to run amok. And the whole point is to destabilize that particular country. And it's not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. The longer that it's allowed to go on in the U.S., the more emboldened they get to do it in the other countries.
So real quick, there's a couple things in the chat I want to point out. The first one is, this is obviously for you, Script Doctor. What's this Canada? Is that an island? Thank you for the $2 super chat.
It's
it's off the coast of Lake Michigan.
It is. And this
they
is also...
breed beer and gay people there.
Apparently, yeah.
In America, it seems like the leftists in the mainstream media are forcing their religious beliefs, which is basically an accurate statement, on the masses, which is similar to what China is doing to Hong Kong.
It's exactly what it is, Tree Rock Creations, because look, China is in on funding this stuff too. China is also the biggest global threat to everybody else. The only country right now that is standing up for anything is props to India. They're the only one that's standing up against China and saying, fuck you.
Well, that's because India wants to do what China's doing.
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, yeah, but I mean, at least they have the balls to stand up to them. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sure India is probably getting big for their britches, and they want to, be expansionist and everything else. But the thing is China, thinks that they're going to take over everything. Their whole gimmick is, well, we're going to do it financially, and we don't have to fire a shot, and that way we don't look bad. But
they're also investing in countries in Africa and trading for their resources and whatnot. So they're expanding.
Oh, China? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Sure. And that's what I'm saying. Somebody needs to get their balls out of their purse, and they need to say, look, we're gonna launch airstrikes on you if you don't get your shit. If you don't back off, there's going to be consequences.
So do you think Biden would do that or Trump?
No, come on, Ishi, which one of the two would.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason Trump is hesitant to do it is right now, it's like, 4 months, we're 4 months out of the election. Yeah. And B, he looks like a warmonger if he does, and he's not really like a foreign war kind of guy. He said it 100% many times. He doesn't want to, send men and women off to fight a foreign war. He'd rather
be better suited to fight them economically anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's going to come down to, somebody's got to go and knock China down a peg.
Yeah, it's scary, man. This is the kind of the problem too with that country, and the fact that they're basically a nuclear power. That's kind of frightening. So I want to pull up the article. I was kind of getting it prepped, and this is the thing that I think all of you guys should be aware of. I'm going to be doing a video about this. I'm sorry, things are going to get a little political on this channel for a little bit because this is something that needs to be discussed. And this is the problem with having 3 fucking screens on my Mac. It's trying to navigate over here. Okay. Introducing the Great Reset, a world leader's radical plan to transform the economy. It's frightening. Go away.
Well, it's also antithetical to the very rich people, because if they end up getting a world economy with a single flat rate like currency, they'll be they won't be as rich as they are now.
Yeah, well, I've seen people say that, the best way to do it would be do it in crypto, and I'm just laugh when people say that because these assholes will never let that happen.
Not only that, crypto is pretty unreliable still. So.
Yeah.
So here we are, an hour and 19 minutes into the live stream. We're finally getting to the article.
Well, we've been kind of talking around it.
I know we've been talking about it.
But again, I didn't really read the whole thing. I got part of the way into it, and I'm just like,
oh man, you haven't gotten to this part that's fucking scary, dude. Honestly,
I figure we discuss it so you can just get my natural reaction to how fucking nuts everything is.
Let's see. Okay, for decades, progressives have attempted to use climate change to justify liberal policy changes. But their last attempt, a new proposal called the Great Reset, is the most ambitious and radical plan the world has seen in more than a generation. Yeah, and this is the thing that's kind of scary about it is what they're trying to do is they're trying to use COVID-19 is the test bed for all this. And the real thing is going to be applied because of global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it. And this is something, obviously, that they've been trying to do for years now. At a virtual meeting earlier in June hosted by the World Economic Forum, some of the planet's most powerful business leaders, government officials, and activists announced a proposal to reset the global economy instead of traditional capitalism. Again, what are we hearing calls for? Dismantling capitalism.
Yeah.
The highest profile group said the world should adopt more socialistic policies such as wealth taxes, additional regulations, and massive Green New Deal like government programs.
I've read the Green New Deal. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's not green, and it's not new, and it's not a deal.
No, it's really kind of designed to,
it's designed for arrested development society that doesn't grow.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I mean, it's like the shit that it's like you were saying earlier, the idea would be to limit travel. Here's the thing. You really have control when you're able to limit people's mobility. Not just like the social mobility, which would also be limited too, but your ability to move throughout the country. You're literally locked into the area where you're at.
Yep.
It's kind of frightening.
Canada's borders closed. I can't travel to the US.
Yeah. That's not good for you, man, considering what you do for a living.
Yeah.
Every country from the United States to China must participate, and every industry from oil, gas to tech must be transformed, wrote Klaus Schwab, the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, in the article published on the WEF's website. In short, we need a great reset of capitalism.
Okay, I need to interrupt here.
Please do.
Charles Schwab, is that who it was?
Klaus Schwab.
Not Charles. Klaus. I looked into him, and apparently his claim to fame is that he's a shitty economist.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's failed at everything. Apparently he's failed up, and now he's with these guys. Apparently his theories are garbage and have never been effective.
So
well,
frightening.
Any theory that requires redistribution won't work.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing I find so funny is we need to adopt more socialist systems. You mean like Venezuela?
So this is liberal fucking trickle-downonomics?
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing, too. So when they say we need to adopt socialist systems, and you look at the definition, it's like that is pure communism. So you have to call out for what it is. Because right now you're using Marxist language to convince people that
what do you think that they're trying to do,
bad.
man? It's fucking communism is what they want.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
The big whole BLM, everything about it. I mean, not the BLM itself, but like the whole SJW movement. Well, like, what is your ultimate goal? Basically, turn us all into communists. Yeah.
Exactly, because even when you go to the origin, I mentioned this in like the Twitter thing there. Like socialism was created by Henry de Saint-Simon. Like he popularized it. He was anti-big government. He believed in science and technology would move us to the future, and he hated the idea of people sponging off of other people and exploiting them for their own private gain. There was nothing about redistribution in any of his theories, but there was stuff that could be interpreted as class issues, but especially when you're sponging off of someone like a landowner that rents to people and exploits their rent. And then Marx took that aspect and then said, oh, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use socialism. I'm going to make it into my own idea, which will lead to Marxism and thus to capitalism. And I'm going to sell it under the guise of socialism, basically doing what we saw recently with the OK sign being white power, rebranding it.
Yes, rebranding it.
And then selling it to a bunch of idiots who are desperately underserved by their own corrupt governments and ended up just causing massive famine and death throughout those societies that embraced it. And it stopped because people decided, okay, so this is what the new socialism is, and they just stopped calling it communism. And it's like, no, you have to call it what it actually is, and you have to look at the origin of words, because when you change the language, that's the first step of communism, changing the words, changing the definition of things.
Yes. Well, it's very much a Marxist mentality, that's for sure. This is really funny. Wing is Dingus says, so he's the Kathleen Kennedy of the financial world.
Well, that's not fair, because Kathleen Kennedy, even though she was under Spielberg's, wing or whatever, she still had years and years and years of what should have been good experience.
She should have learned something.
Right.
I guess.
But you can't learn creativity. That's the problem.
Yes. She learned how to be a good producer, but she's not a good creative producer. And that's the argument I usually get into with Robert Meyer Burnett. But again, that as far as this shit goes, I mean, this redistribution of wealth and all this bullshit. What I'm getting to when I say this whole communist business, because it doesn't smell like it and look like it on the surface, because everybody's got different colored hair, everybody's trans and gay and lesbian and whatever. So it's like, okay, this is obviously not communism, but it is when it got to a point where the participation generation took literally. When everybody told them you could do and be whatever you wanted. That's where the communism is going to come in. It's going to be like to where talent doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter how good you are at something, how smart you are, how talented. It just matters that said person wants to do something, so they get to do it.
Yep.
They left that one key sentence that's most important. If you work hard enough and persevere, you can do anything that you set your mind to. That's the most important thing. You have to have perseverance, commitment, determination, and then the world will open up for you. And that was like a principle of what socialism was in the early 1800s. I'm talking like before 1820, because that's when things started to go fucking crazy. But that's what it was all about. It was like, if you worked hard and you were determined for it, you could achieve it. And it's about the power of individualism to help yourself and the people around you in a community, because you have to reconcile the two. We have to work together in order to grow, but we also have to have our own identities in order to grow individually as well. And then you have these idiots who don't even understand the concept of that, preaching it like it's a one solution for all our problems, when it's not. And they try to sell it under a guise that can never be enacted.
Well, they want to eliminate merits. They want to eliminate competition. They want to eliminate. They want to eliminate the work ethic, because if you keep people,
everybody according to their need or whatever.
Yeah, if you keep people on big social programs, then you have them. It's like it's like getting a loan from a loan shark, right? And you're constantly in debt and controlled by that, because you're not off the hook. You're not off the hook. You're constantly at that mercy. And the worst loan shark to get a loan from is the government. Because, guess what? Nobody wants to be on the hook to the government. That's as bad as being on the hook to the mafia. Government might not break your legs, but they'll break your ability to do anything.
Can I say something controversial? It's probably going to get me canceled.
Okay.
I seen a video where a woman was, at least in my opinion, she was convinced that this is what Black Lives Matter was all about. And in her eyes, it made sense. But there's a big flaw in her thoughts. And what she was saying was, what the movement is about is equality, in a sense that Black people don't own anything. We're ripping down the projects because we don't own them. The government owns them. We can't own anything. Like, exactly. And you guys see where the flaw of this thought is coming into play. It's like, no, wait a minute. That's not true. It's because you, as a person, decided to do this with your life. Now, granted, there are people out there who have a step up when it comes to having a family that already had money, but that's not delegated to just white people.
No, it's not.
That's
No,
class.
I think it was only a flaw with the GI Bill way back in the day, but I think they
Right.
rectified that recently, right? With
Yeah.
not
And
recently,
that was
but
the
like
whole thing that Robert went
decades
off
ago.
on the other night that really kind of got Jeff going, because it was like, this is not where this was supposed to go. But that's where this conversation is going. And in a sense, like, I should almost see if he's up, but because he might actually learn us a little bit here and there. But I know he's like a complete leftist on this.
Yeah.
So my point is this is like, you, like we were just saying for the last 10 minutes, as an individual, I don't give a fuck what skin color you are. You have just as much opportunity as everybody else in this country, more so now today than 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and especially 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Well,
I'm not denying
that. Not only that, it is that people make poor choices, and
exactly.
there was this oh God,
that was my whole point. I was going to get to self-responsibility. Like, when did people stop taking responsibility for themselves and their own actions? I am so sick of this pity me, because I don't have everything. Well, guess what? I crawled out of a fucking hole with nothing, raising a son by myself. And let me tell you, as a man, you get laughed out of every fucking social program there is because you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if I was a woman and just wanted to sit here and pop out kids left and right, I'd have got all kinds of fucking help.
Yep.
But I busted my ass to get where I am today. Okay? And I'm doing this full time right now because I busted my ass and I've earned every bit.
That's the thing that pisses me off too, is that when I hear people talk about white privilege and you got where you're at because you're white, I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you and your
you don't know
it's a
my fucking
classist
struggles.
problem right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't know my fucking struggles. You don't know the problems I ran into having a learning disability and how that fucking held me back and how I had to fight to get where I'm at. So if you're gonna say I got where I'm at because I'm white, you can go fuck yourself.
No, the only place in this
Sunday.
world where there's not inequality, and I'm going to tell you this right now, and everybody's going to fucking freak out on the outside of here, but everybody on the panel is going to go, yeah, you're right, and most of you out in their chat are going to go, yeah, you're right. The only class of people right now who are above and beyond everybody else are white women.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yep.
And who is bitching the most?
The white women.
Who's taking control of this whole situation?
Sorry, Tina. Sorry.
White women.
Sorry, Tina, but it's fucking true. And you're probably one of the smart ones. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of you out there who know the real deal. You see this bullshit for what it is. You call, because you're the first ones to jump and say, oh no, women are full of shit most of the time. Even though they act so fucking high and mighty and pious, they pull some of the most fucking backhanded, backstabbing bullshit that men would never even think of. And that's why I love it when they're like, oh, if women ran the world, everything would be peaceful. Bullshit. We'd be in World War III by the end of the month. As soon as y'all sunk up, we'd be fucked. It'd be done.
So Tina's saying, did you know I got 2 graduate degrees handed to me because I'm a white woman?
No, yeah, well.
No, I'm pretty sure you worked for those degrees.
And again, there's plenty of women out there who bust their asses and don't get enough help. But then there's plenty of fucking fat, lazy bitches who can pop out 10 kids and don't have to do a goddamn thing.
Well, there's also the Karen mentality thing too, which is being brought up by Robert Frey.
I really like this side of Tom. I like this. Tom.
Oh, I'm fired up. I'm getting pissed about some of this shit now. I'm not going to get into why, but there's some personal shit that's gone down and stuff to do with behind the scenes that nothing to do with Andre or Rob or anything like that. Other people that we are involved and worked with, that shit just kind of set me off.
Okay.
So if somebody's going to call us anti-BLM, then I'll tell them how anti-BLM. I don't believe in this shit. I think it's a fucking horse shit fucking thing, okay? It's a bunch of bullshit to build up a brand put out there by the media. They're not going to help you, folks.
Well,
nobody's there to help.
There's 2 things. I'm not going to back a movement that is, first off, Marxist, and second, anti-Semitic.
Exactly. Thank you for making my words better, but yes.
Yes. Did you happen to see, Comics Division? There was a tweet. I don't know if I shared it with you or not, but I retweeted it earlier in the week. There was a tweet from BLM UK.
Yeah.
And they literally said that they advocated for violence against Israel and basically to, kill off Israel entirely, by any means necessary, because we're all about backing Palestine. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Orthopedics is right. It's the rich white women. Thank you.
Yes.
It's the women who claim that, and that's why they're so it's the white guilt factor. I get it. And I'm not trying to make excuses for them here, but they feel like they've got it so fucking good that they're so guilty they got to take care of everybody else. See, now they used to be able to deal with this. Their husbands would just let the women go out and fucking do go do your, charity work on the weekends, and we'll give X amount to charity, and they would feel better, right? And they'd hire a Mexican gardener and it'd be all good. Right. Well, that just all of a sudden became not good enough. Mm-hmm. And then now the media and them have put it in everybody's head that shit's so inequality right now. No, the problem is the only places that it's unequal is in fucking Hollywood, Congress, Washington, not just Congress, but Washington in general, and corporate America. And even there, and even in all those three places, you're still hard pressed to find where it's just white men, straight white men running everything. It's still really difficult because even in Hollywood,
white women who run HR
exactly. Well, a lot of times, yes, but even in Hollywood, like Mecca was making the point that even in Hollywood, most of the people running shit are Jewish still.
Yeah.
And half the producers are women now, so
and they're getting the job not because of how good they are, but because of what's between their fucking legs.
Yep.
And Kathleen Kennedy's proof of that.
Kathleen Kennedy's proof of that, but I also, like, most of the female producers I meet always tell me in confidence, like, holy crap, you write characters the way I want them to write. You write the stuff I like. But they have to toe the line because, again, their jobs are on the line.
I didn't mean to interrupt you there, so you're probably going to want to delete this afterwards.
Well, I'm not dropping
I always list the stream. I never private them, but mainly because of algorithm reasons. I'm
just worried that a lot of this shit I said tonight's going to bite me in the
computer robots, dude. I don't delete my streams, man. I just unlist them, and the reason why is because of the algorithm. If you leave them up, it hurts you. They're still there. If you find them on Twitter, yes, I need to get the fucking archive going, where I can put it on a different channel. I need to do that so I can start dumping everything over there. But
I pretty much got zero fucks to give, really.
Honestly, Tom, I got to that place too. Like, especially like with my Twitter, like probably about 10, 12 days ago, I had an epiphany, and I'm like, I understand that I felt like I had the need to like sort of be restrained and sort of more buttoned up on Twitter because, I'm a journalist and shit like that. But at some point I just said, fuck it. I'm going to be me. And I just like let it go, dude. And I just went into those tweets. Like I got that one that got like a ton of like retweets and shit where I'm just like, yep, BLM is a scam. And here's why.
Yeah.
Anyway. It's been appropriated by the media, and isn't it copyrighted and shit now and everything?
It's been appropriated by
trademarked at least.
Trademarked, yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
A private chat you might want to look at.
Yeah,
I missed the private chat. I got the other chat in front.
I'm trying to pull it up because I have like 3 fucking monitors I'm trying to navigate here.
And I apologize, guys. I have gone on, but I've had a rough fucking day today.
You're a single dad.
You need a chalupa.
I had tacos earlier.
That's pretty good.
Holy fuck. Okay, I gotta pull this up on the other screen.
Well, now doesn't this kind of go? Never mind. You'll bring it up.
Well, hey Tom, just saying, you're a buddy, and if you,
I don't think I shared audio, but yeah. So this is the BLM protest in Washington D.C. chanting, "Israel, we know you murder children too." Wow.
So it's not just in the UK; it's happening here too with BLM.
Yeah.
It's like they suddenly decided they had a change in message. It's no longer cops and race disparity. Now it's Israel.
Mm-hmm. It's everything, dude.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, they are not even hiding the fact that this was the end game the whole time. Race was just their initial entry point.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so
Susan Wojcicki, that's who I got to watch out for. Evidently, that's a super Karen. Susans are worse than Karens, guys.
Well, she's the one that's in charge of YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, that's who. Okay, I knew the name. Okay, yeah.
But
All right, thank you.
to finish my thought though, Tom. Yeah, hey man, you're a buddy. Anytime you want to reach out if you're ever having a bad day, man. Hit me up.
No, it's just part of it is most of it made me laugh, but it just got me kind of pissed off by the end of the day, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was like because most of these people don't even realize that when Andre does a video, it's normally an editorial, and he'll say like 20 times in this editorial, right? But idiots don't hear that.
Well, yeah, that's pretty funny because it's.
Yo, so you mean
it's like, come on, man. A lot of this. Well, people hear what they want to hear. First off,
it's just the accusation. It's the fact that somebody went out of their way to make the complaint and just cause a disturbance in our mods. And then I had another incident, kind of correspond with that, and it's just been one of those fucking days. And then like yesterday wasn't that great.
So Tom, you mean it's like the same kind of thing like that we go through when we publish rumor stories and people come and bitch at us about that. It's more or less the whole alt-right, you're racist, you're bigots kind of bullshit coming back at us. It just bothers me after a while.
Well, I get it, dude, but don't let it bother you. People
that mixes in with just like I'm dealing with other bullshit in my personal life, and then I'm dealing with bullshit for work, or whatever. And like today, I spent half the day dealing with the fucking post office because they want to charge me. And I normally wouldn't bitch about my personal problems, but this is stupid and mundane, so it don't matter. They wanted to charge me $15 for a package that's being held at the post office because I had my mail stopped at the post office from now on because I have the post office box there at town. And when I moved, I just said, here, just whatever comes in at this address, hold it at my P.O. box here, which they said, fine. Well, they're trying to charge me $15 to get one of my packages now. What's stupid is because I guess what I found out was that it was turned over to them by UPS or something like that, which is kind of a thing that a lot of the UPSers do now is they'll turn it over on the last leg to the postal service. And then the postal service gets a little bit of a kickback, but they don't get enough. So they feel the need to charge people for it. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit considering the son of a bitch only cost $7 to be shipped in the first place.
Right.
And so their solution is to basically make the people who sent it to me pay for it.
Wow.
So basically they're telling me to send it back and then have them resend it out to my new address. And I'm like, you guys are that cluster fucked up in the post office. You can't get this shit right. And this is and to top this off. Okay. Now I finally got him in my possession. But it took 2 attempts from Gary Wolf, the author of Who Censored Roger Rabbit, sent me the 3 short film posters signed by him through the mail. They got fucking lost.
Oh, wow.
For 3, almost 4 fucking weeks. And so he sent out the last 3 he had in his possession that, as far as he knows, may even exist at this point. Because these are the full-sized, double-sided, they're probably very expensive. I don't know how I got them for such, basically, I can't. He gave them to me for such a steal. I can't even fucking believe it. Because the double-sided means so they could put them in the picture boxes,
right?
With the light. Like chances you finding these fuckers are probably slim to none. Because I didn't even know they existed. These are full-sized posters. I thought they were mini posters. They're the full-size posters of the 3 Roger Rabbit shorts that went with like Who Framed with Honey, I Shrunk the Kids
and
that African movie and one other one. Yeah. So the three shorts, and he signed them. And they fucking lost them. So he sent me the last 3 he had, and I got those like 2 days later because he sent those express mail.
Oh my God.
Via UPS or something like that. And then the next one showed up the day after those did at the post office. So I got to send those back now to him. And I told them flat out, I'm like, you know what, fuckers? I'm not even going to use you to send these back to him because I can't trust you even to get that shit right. And then you're trying to pull this stuff. I was pissed. I was so mad.
I would be too. That's pretty fucked up.
Anyway, that was a long diatribe, guys. That's like a small portion of why I'm in this mood right now.
Oh, no. Hey, now would be a perfect time, comics, to drop that anecdote, eh?
Go for it, dude.
All right, so get this. You think, speaking of outrageous shit, Tom, Monday. All right, so most of you guys in the chat and on the panel know that I'm going through a rough time medically right now because I have a severely herniated disc in my back and some other, neck problems. My herniated disc is at the very bottom of my cervical spine in C7. And I've got like 3 vertebrae that are close to fusing. So I'm in a world of hurt right now. And what happened was, I had met with my orthopedic doctor last week. He laid out treatment options that, he said, number 1, you can learn to just live with it for the rest of your life. He said, number 2, you can go to physical therapy. Number 3, you can deal with the pain management specialist. Or number 4, you can have surgery. But I'm going to tell you right now, the surgery, when I do it, said it's probably about 40-50% success rate given your body type and where the injury is at. So he's just like, I'm just telling you. So take a few weeks to decide. So in the meantime, they referred me to this pain management doctor that I went to at the start of the week on Monday. So I walk into this guy's office, and after you do the usual thing you do at the doctors to tell you get there 15 minutes early, you got to fill out feels like you got to fill out 6 forms in triplicate and shit. Well, they call me back into the exam room. I'm sitting in there waiting for the doctor to walk in. He walks in. He does a couple of strength tests like on my arm and whatnot. And then he says, well, I know that you're here to get a shot and I'm sorry. He's like, I'm just not going to give you a shot. And I said, why? And he said, well, I'm not going to give you a shot because, your insurance company is hard to deal with. So I'm going to write you this prescription and, have a great day. He legitimately looked me in the fucking eye and told me that. And oh, by the way, he prescribed me some bullshit prednisone that, they tried that at the very first beginning of this saga. And the shit is ineffective for me anyway. But the guy legitimately refused to treat me because he said his excuse is, well, that insurance company is hard to deal with.
Your insurance company is a pain in the ass to deal with, so I'm just going to write you a useless prescription. Enjoy your healthcare journey.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you need state medical insurance.
Well, it's like I had the same deal. I was supposed to get
well, that's what I'm on
done too, and yeah.
I mean, I'm on state insurance, SD. I'm on Medicaid because the little income I make from bounding, you can't. I'm not going to be able to purchase private insurance, so I went with the next best thing, which was just to get it from the state since I qualify as low income. Okay, so I took it so that I have medical coverage, but yeah. I have no problem going most places. It was just this doctor turned his nose up at it because he doesn't like the particular provider. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude.
But I mean, I could have used that cortisone shot because that would have given me like a week's worth of relief. I mean, it's fucking amazing, man. And now I'm going to physical therapy. I started physical therapy yesterday, but Jesus Christ, going that route, that's going to take minimum probably like for easily like a couple of months.
Wait, your doctor didn't want to give you a cortisone shot?
Yeah, that pain management guy's script doctor that they
well, cortisone's not pain management medication.
Well, it's not cortisone, but whatever he was going to give me anti-inflammatory. He didn't want to give me a shot, period, is what I'm saying. And they sent me there for that specific purpose, was to get a shot so that it would be like an anti-inflammatory whatever, and I wouldn't have to deal with symptoms for about a week.
Well, an anti-inflammatory also isn't pain. You could just get like liquid gel Advil. Well, is basically just a slightly weaker form of cortisone, but you take 4 a day.
But the point is the guy.
The thing is, you've got a C7 issue, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that'll get rid of the muscular stuff. It's not going to get rid of the pain.
Yeah.
So your pain management guy just didn't give you anything for pain management.
but the bottom line is the guy refused to treat me. And
No, he refused to treat you the way you wanted to be treated. He didn't refuse to treat you under the law, which is still
Right.
Yeah,
he did the very bare minimum, which again, it's an ineffectual prescription anyway. He just did it to cover his ass so that he was covered legally.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
Sorry, man. Sorry, Drew. That sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the medical system, and it's funny because both parties continue to constantly bitch and moan that they're going to fix it one way or the other, and they never do. And
No, they don't.
This is the shit that you wind up with.
Well, mostly Safe points out a patient cured is a patient lost. Yeah, unfortunately, that seems like it's the way the shit is run these days.
Yeah, in your country especially, which I feel sorry for you all.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Canada's like, if you're not sick, we've done our job. Go away.
Okay, we took a pretty massive detour. Who do we lose? We lost Tom.
Tom, I think his computer rebooted again.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry for like derailing with the anecdote, but man,
it's fine. I mean, Tom derailed too, but it's time
that's been burning my ass all week, dude. I need to get that off my chest.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to duck out soon too.
Oh, damn it! I was trying to avoid that. I was want to get through the article before you had to duck out. But hey, man, if you want to duck out now, by all means.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on. I always like coming by.
Oh man, it's great having you. I forgot to do this last week, dude. I'm so sorry. Would you like to plug your channel?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I am Jay Ishiro Finney. You can find me under that exact same name here on YouTube. We run several different shows on our channel, including movie reviews and my Great Big Alien Show, which is getting more and more interesting.
Dude, your alien show is great.
Oh, good. You like that?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to catch them, but the one I did catch was fun.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to, I don't know. It's just so much negativity is going on. It doesn't hurt to at least have once a week where it's just bullshit and funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I hear you.
Well, again, thank you for having me on. And anytime you want, I would love to stop by again.
Well, sure, man. Like I said, we're here Thursday. Let's say every day Thursday, but yeah, every day Thursday. Yeah, we're here Thursday nights, man. You're more than welcome to join us as a regular.
All right, cool. Take care, man.
All right, see you.
Hey, you take care of yourself.
Let's say, why is it back on me on solo? Okay, because let me fix there. There we go.
Toxic man flu. That's so good.
Oh, God. She talks about politics division.
Yeah, it's kind of went there.
Oh, man, I love it.
It's kind of accurate for tonight, man. But like I said, I feel this is something I have to share with you because it's very important, and I think we all need to be aware of it.
Topic, though, it really is.
Okay, so let me get back over to the article now. Now that we've had our massive detour, it's time to steer the ship back. Schwab also said that all aspects of societies and economics must be revamped, from education to social contracts and working conditions. Wow. Okay.
That's very broad.
That is very broad. Well, it goes back to the whole thing with them wanting to revamp everything. Yes, folks, you'll be eating bugs in the future. Joining Schwab at the WEF event was Prince Charles, one of the primary proponents of the Great Reset. Gina, I can't even say this. Gopinath. Okay. The chief economist at the International Monetary Fund, Antonio Gutierrez.
That's from Freakazoid.
Gutierrez. The Secretary General of the United Nations. So yeah, we're even getting the UN involved here.
This is globalist, by the way.
It's totally. And CEOs and presidents of major international corporations such as Microsoft
and British Petroleum
and BP. But the key thing here is Microsoft because, well, Bill Gates.
Bill and Melinda Gates.
Yes. Anyway, activist groups such as Greenpeace International and a variety of academics also attended the event or have expressed their support for the Great Reset.
Of course.
No surprise there. Although many details about the Great Reset won't be rolled out until the World Economic Forum meets in Davos in January 2021, the general principles of the plan are clear. The world needs massive new government programs and far-reaching far-reaching policies compared to those offered by American socialists such as Senator Bernie Sanders and Rep. Ocasio-Cortez and their Green New Deal plan.
That plan's a communist plan, not a socialist plan.
Well,
Dude,
you're not going to sell communism if you don't call it socialism, okay?
Exactly.
Because if you call it communism, no one's going to fucking buy into it.
Exactly.
So,
which is why you have to call it out for what it is.
Yes, exactly. Or put in another way, we need a form of socialism, communism, a word the World Economic Forum has deliberately avoided using. Yes, because they don't want to use communism, all while calling for countless socialist and progressive plans. Yeah, God damn it, dude. Here's the thing. I hate to say this, man. And this is something I've been thinking more recently. Fucking McCarthy was right. Okay. As much as the Red Scare, it was terrible. I don't think the guy was wrong at this point.
He did go after the wrong people, but like,
yes, he did.
The methodology, I mean, of being cautious. Yeah, I can argue that.
To a point, yeah, but at the same time, I have a hard time. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
If McCarthy was around today, he'd have an easier time of actually nailing people to the wall and the actual definition of a communist compared to then. I have a harder time believing people actually wanted to be, because people back then actually knew what it was to be under communist control usually.
Yeah.
Like they've seen it firsthand in certain instances where you had a lot of people who immigrated out of areas like that for a reason. And that's the thing I think that I was getting to earlier is these kids that are running behind this thing and the people that are pushing this shit, they really have either the A, have no clue and they're easily manipulated like the kids are, and B, the other side is just ignoring the fucking facts and they're trying to create this fake fucking situation. And I hate to say it, folks, a lot of it's fake. Yes, there is black violence from the police officers. Yes, things need to be dealt with, but this is a whole nother can of worms we're talking about.
Oh, it certainly is.
Yeah, that's where it's gotten.
That's where I'm like, anybody who wants to call me whatever because of that, go right ahead. Then that just means you're ignorant and you're trying to be short-sighted in the subject here. Because let's face it, this has gone far, 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 far beyond what spawned it in the first place.
Yeah, we need to design policies that align investment in people and the environment, said the General Secretary of the International Trade Union Confederation, Sharan Burrow. But above all, the longer term perspective is about rebalancing economics. Communism.
You can't rebalance. You can only help developing countries get stronger and then contribute.
Yeah. Anyway, Jesus, man, this is...
This is why I quit reading this, because it's tedious as fuck.
Oh no, dude, it is. And
no, I read the whole thing. It made me laugh.
Well, yeah, but you're funny like that.
It made me laugh to the point where we talked about activating activists, and that's where it's like, holy fuck, this is what's going on right now. And this is why we need to talk about it. One of the main themes of the June meeting was the coronavirus pandemic has created an important opportunity. This is a key word here, folks, opportunity for many of the world's economic forum, for the World Economic Forum members to enact their radical transformation of capitalism, which they acknowledge would likely not have been made possible without the pandemic. So again, they're taking advantage of a crisis. Let no good crisis go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
This is fucking frightening. We have a golden opportunity to seize something good from this crisis in its unprecedented shockwave. Many will make people. God damn, I can't fucking read. Many
more receptive
to big visions of change, said Prince Charles. This is scary. This is coming from Prince Charles at the meeting. Adding later, you should guys see me fucking record when I read shit, man. This is actually surprising me a lot better, probably because I have my glasses on. It's a lot harder for me to read when I have my fucking contacts in. It is an opportunity we have never had before and may never have again. So, of course, they got to take advantage of this opportunity. Fucking frightening. You might be wondering how these leaders plan to convince the world to completely alter its economics over the long run. Since the COVID-19 pandemic most assuredly won't remain a crisis forever. The answer is that they have already identified another crisis that will require expensive government intervention. Climate change.
There it is, folks. There's the next thing. We had all this crap. We had the COVID, the riots, and now it's government oppression.
It's gonna be. Here's the thing. That's why those lunatic parents that Greta Thunberg has made her like the poster girl of climate change, because they knew that she could engender like people to feel sorry for her, and that's how they're slowly trying to pull people on the climate change bandwagon now, with her as the face of the movement. And then they can go ahead and push this shit because they could see, oh, it's devastating children. Oh my God, and they're going to build off that, like this article says. Oh yeah, this is all lined up.
The 90s had their version of Greta Thunberg. Nobody fucking remembers her because it didn't reach the fever pitch that it has now. But she is spouting the exact same talking points. Oh, we need to do something because if we don't in the next 20 years, everything's going to fall apart. Well, fucking newsflash. It's been 20 years.
I still want to read this in a really highly just altered English voice.
Yes. That threat of climate change has been more gradual than COVID-19, but it's devastating reality for many people and their livelihoods around the world. And it's ever greater potential to disrupt, surpass even that of COVID-19, Prince Charles said.
I'm glad Prince Charles isn't a scientist, because if a scientist said that, I'd be really concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Of course, these government officials, activists, and influencers can't impose a systemic change of this size on their own, which is why they have already started to activate vast networks of left-wing activists from around the world who will, throughout 2021, demand changes in line with the Great Reset. This right here, folks. This is the scariest part of this fucking article right here.
Yep.
Because it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
This is what is going on right now with these protests and what they're demanding. Defund the cops is nothing more than part of the plan for the Great Reset.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. If you take away people's reasonable idea of protection and have them vulnerable, then they figure they have no choice but to follow the most secure plan that's thrown out there. And if you can take the place of that security, then you're going to win the people over. That's their line of thinking anyway. Mm-hmm. And because in reality, when we're at the community level in our cities, if you take away emergency services, we're screwed.
Well, not only that, and first off, I want to pop this up because this is so true from Robert Flake. Climate change believer, climate change denier, that is language of religion, not science.
Bingo.
But here's the thing. This is what we're saying. If you can convince the world or convince the people in the United States that because of the 1619 Project that the United States has always been racist and we got to tear down these systems of oppression, you're going to have buy-in to what they want to do with the Great Reset. That is the only way you can do it, is convince everybody that the United States is racist and therefore needs to be torn down. Convince people that Western civilization and Western culture is racist and oppressive and needs to be torn down. That is the ultimate fucking goal.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it.
And here's the thing. It's like, if you don't believe me, folks, just read this article, read this paragraph. Oh, read it one more time. Of course, these government officials and activists and influencers can't impose systemic changes of this size on their own, which is why they have already started to activate vast networks of left-wing activists from around the world who will throughout 2019, who will throughout 2021 demand change in line with the Great Reset. There you go. Anyway, and that's honestly that's it. That's all I need to read, because that is the most important part that you should be taking away from this. And where did my mouse go? Oh, there we go. It's that is frightening, folks. That is absolutely fucking frightening.
Well, it is, and that's you know, and I think you know, that's been one of the plans all along, and it goes back to like when the article named off who was there. I mean, it's like a mini Bilderberg conference. It's all globalists. It is all globalists that they mentioned, because Prince Charles is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Same thing with the other people they were talking about that were there, and of course involving the UN. Hello, you know, I mean, good God, all of this sounds like, oh, well, we'll just amend all this shit into Agenda 2030, because most of it's already built into Agenda 2030. Is if you go and if you go down the list, if you actually look up the document for Agenda 2030 and read the stated goals and everything else, you know, all the sustainability bullshit, you know, all of this is in there. And yeah, that's where it's headed. That's what they want.
Yeah. And here's the thing too, when everyone's talking about white supremacy, what exactly are they doing? What are they referring to? That's the thing that I want to know, because white supremacy to me is the idea that it's believing that white people are superior to other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the definition. At least that's what I thought.
Yeah. I'm not superior to other people because of the color of my skin. I'm superior to other people for a whole slew of other reasons.
But one of them is because you're the whitest man on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I have no face. Yes.
And you have no face. But the reality is what they're ultimately building up to is what they're trying to call white supremacy is Western civilization and Western culture. That is what they're getting at. And how does this tie into entertainment? Well, I'm glad you asked, because this
changing definitions too.
Changing definitions.
Yep.
This is where that document that came from Bad Reboot, Bad Robot, comes in, because it's right in line with this thought process.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, Drew, you and John Trent on Bounding covered it the other day, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
It's a frightening document.
I mean, that is absolute crazy shit. It's just, I mean, I don't know how in the world anybody writes something like that for, well, I guess I won't ask questions when it's Hollywood, because God, it's weird as hell, but it's just, I mean, good God, if that was written in a normal workplace that wasn't Hollywood, I mean, good God, employees would absolutely rebel against that shit. Nobody wants to be.
Look, and yeah, and the thing is if you don't fall in line, look at how it makes you look.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's the problem, and that's how it's set up. It's a trap. It's a big
moral
fucking
blackmail,
trap. Yeah.
They're blackmailing you into saying, or they're trying to say, well, if you don't.
First, you're admitting you're racist.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you're saying I'm going to do something about it. And the thing is about denial is it's the hardest thing to argue when you're right, and you know you're fucking right, and people are trying to throw, oh, you're just in denial. You're just in denial. You're just in denial. Because then sooner or later you start to second guess yourself if you actually trust the people you're talking to.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, it's the reason why things like white fragility has been invented, because if you say, wow, this is terrible, they can go, I'm not this is terrible. I'm not racist. Well, you saying that is proof that of your white fragility. You are proving the point. And ultimately what it is nothing more than moral blackmail. If you don't agree, you are the racist. It's fucking disgusting.
And I see a lot of it, and it's true. It's a game that they're playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. But it's a game though that they're really pushing, playing to win. They're playing a human game of chess, and people need to be smart enough to beat them at that game, and because all of this stuff is like a house of cards. Mm-hmm. You full court press it enough, you stay on them enough, you expose it enough, it'll fall apart right on them. It's this is almost like, I almost want to look at it as a last ditch, because if they don't pull this off, they're never going to pull it off in a long ass time.
Well, here's the thing: is you're talking like they're not winning already. What the fuck do you think we're in the middle of here, dude?
Yeah,
yeah. That's the fucking shock of the shocks. To me, it's gotten to a point where it's like, I thought we were making some fucking progress too, and then all of a sudden this shit happened.
Oh yeah, the lockdown actually literally set us back a year minimum, and then there's all this other crap.
I think you definitely had leftists talking about how this is setting back feminism and all this stuff. It's like, well, good. All the stuff that they're complaining about.
Yeah, the feminism they're talking about is not feminism in its originality.
No, it's not. And it's, God damn it. And then all this nonsense started happening. And then you have people saying that, don't go out and protest the lockdown because you will spread the coronavirus. But if you go out there and protest with BLM, you will magically stop COVID from spreading.
Or maybe they're just hoping that the people will infect all the BLM people, and then they'll all be, out of the
dude, I don't know. It's fucking weird.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any fucking sense. But okay, this is true. That is how cults and peer pressure works. Make you feel shame and awkward that you aren't joining the rest of the group. Yeah, and that's exactly, the shit is a fucking cult. And there's a video I'm gonna share out on Twitter that you guys should go watch. This is the one that was sent to me by Thundercatso, and it talks about the whole thing with postmodernism and how it plays into what's going on now and social justice and all this stuff. It's a really interesting watch. It's like a 25-30 minute video. It's fucking great. You probably need to watch it multiple times to really kind of take it in.
When Jason C sent you a super chat, you
I know,
want to grab that.
I was just getting to it, man.
Yeah, and then I got a point. I want to bring up something real quick. Then too.
Jason C for $10. Loving the show, guys. Keep up the great work. And like I said, I have a series of videos I'm gonna be working on. That's gonna be talking about all this, and it's gonna be playing into starting with this article, talk about the Great Reset and all the things that we're seeing through Hollywood and some other articles I found. Like I said, this is something that I think we need to discuss, because if we want to preserve capitalism, we want to preserve our culture, we need to be informed about this shit. And like I said, The Hill, it's not some fringe right-wing lunatic website, man. It's a major publication that talks about politics. So it's not like this is coming from a bunch of lunatics.
Okay, speaking of lunatics, guess what? Fucking Dean Cain is trending like a motherfucker right now.
Again? I saw that. Why is he trending now?
It's probably the same thing as before, but we didn't really speak about it. So if you want to, we can talk about it now real quick.
Okay.
Oh, no, I saw this video on Twitter. It made me laugh.
Yeah. This is so true. And it goes along with what we're talking about here is Dean Cain says, I promise you, Superman, I wouldn't be allowed today to say truth, justice, and the American way. And he's fucking right.
He is right.
He's exactly right. Yeah.
But what everybody's freaking out about it for is because, well, of course not, because the American way is bad. It's like, no, stop. Time the fuck out right there. The American way, what America stands for, what the laws are in place for, are great. I am proud to be a fucking American because I know the country that I live in. I technically have the right of speech. They're trying to take that away from me. We have a lot of other rights and other things that are fucking rights, not privileges, but rights. Okay. And not only that, this country, you come here, you become American, you're an American, right? It's just what it is. And the fact that to chastise the American way is something is a bad thing is fucking bullshit. the saying is still sound, in my opinion. It makes complete sense. And then
it's also the second version of Superman's saying, because the original one was truth, justice, and tolerance. The American Way one came for the radio show in 1942, caught on, was pretty good. Then it went back to truth, justice, and tolerance until the George Reeves show.
Yeah. Well, it gets better because then a bunch of the asshats that are chiming in are like, is Dean Cain aware that Superman is not even American? It's like, yeah, he's an alien, but guess what, folks? He's adopted by Americans. Last time I checked,
he's technically a Kryptonian American
with American values. Even though he's an American, he's an
alien. What kind of fucking argument
American.
Is that? That doesn't even make fucking sense.
He's a Kryptonian American.
Exactly. He's the quintessential fucking American.
Yes, he is. Exactly.
Anyway, I had to just blow up on that real quick. Sorry.
That's dumb, dude. That's so fucking dumb.
That's what their argument
what's
is.
The most American thing about what's the most American thing about Superman as a character is that he holds on to the core values of America prior to we'll bring this up again to Woodrow Wilson. Like, he doesn't spread American values to other countries deliberately. He just uses himself as an inspiration so that other people can be motivated to
and a moral standard
to bring that in. Whereas Woodrow Wilson was like, no, we're going to transplant democracy to other countries and spread it around the world, and which is basically imperialism. And
the funny thing about it is, like, all of our modern problems in the world can really be pinned on Woodrow Wilson.
I mean, know. It's so messed up.
Yeah, I'm serious, folks. I mean, Alternate History Hub did a great video talking about Woodrow Wilson and how basically you could blame everything on him. All the modern woes we have right now.
No, I learned this in world history in my final year of high school. It's like, let's talk about the worst president. And people thought it was like going to be George W. Bush because he was in office at the time. But the teacher's like, nope, it's Woodrow Wilson. And here's why. And he just went down this laundry list of stuff he did. And we had to go verify the references and everything, because a lot of the times, some people, especially because they're considering that Woodrow Wilson was also like one of the first terrible historians, and he wrote a lot of conjecture and BS in like 6 volumes of crap over at Princeton. And you look at it, it's like, wait, that doesn't match up with these records or these records or these records or this stuff. And then you see why, like, yeah, he was terrible. So,
well, be prepared to be pulled down, because I'm going to say it. The reason this shit's going on is the people that should be the ones that BLM and all these rioters and protesters should be going after. And they're the ones that are pushing the agenda from the beginning. That is fucking people in fucking Washington who are trying to use this to further their political career and stay relevant, because they're the ones who can make the changes, folks. They're the ones who we should be rioting against. They're the ones who should be held responsible right now. That's what we should be doing instead of this crap. And I don't mean we as the collective, or I don't mean we as us here right now, but I mean the collective we. And then the other side of it is the media. They need to start being held more accountable. The freedom of the press does not mean you can just go out there and fucking create chaos, which is what they did.
The freedom of the press was the responsibility to report the truth as it happens.
just remember, folks, the revolution will be monetized. This is a great comment by the Gay Rascal.
Are we still
Yeah, we're still. Last I checked, you come to America to be an American. You're American. Superman came to Earth in the melting pot era.
Exactly.
But the term is now racist.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah,
it's only racist if you exploit the term to mean it's a loss of identity, which is not what the melting pot theory is about at all. It's about integration and expansion and growth. And
the problem is, I'm sure to a lot of the people on that side, we're coming off as a bunch of grumpy old men who are just bitching and pissing and moaning and want the young kids to get off our lawn. That's not what it is, folks.
Nope.
I want the kid to mow my lawn. I'll give him $5.
Sense. Yeah, exactly. It's called common fucking sense here, folks. And I don't know where it went. It's not common anymore. Like Script said, it's super sense now.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's dumb. Man, like I said, this is like the first time, like, in my life when I'm like legitimately concerned about the state of the world. And I lived through the 80s, okay, with the shit going on with
holes in the ozone.
Holes in the ozone, the threat of nuclear war. Seriously, man, it's
Chernobyl. Yeah.
Chernobyl. I mean,
I was alive for Chernobyl.
Yeah. This I find the most concerning because I see the potential for tearing down everything we've built over the last several hundred years. And this is the thing that pisses me off is I get America has its warts and there's things that we need to address, but you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You keep the things that are good. And that's the whole point of the melting pot when you come to America. You come here, you bring your culture with you. You keep the stuff that's good. Yes, you keep the best parts and you throw out the bad.
Yeah, you left that country to avoid the things that made it terrible, and you came here to try and enrich ours, and we thank you for that because there's nothing more important than enriching someone else's life and stuff with your own experiences because there might be some great ideas in that. And if there aren't, you will find out pretty quick.
And that's what I was kind of trying to say is like, you know, if those who are actually meant to hold those laws true and make sure that our rights are protected actually did their fucking jobs, the American way wouldn't be a bad thing. We wouldn't be having this problem right now. That's what I think, you know, I was getting to the whole point before was they didn't change the fucking law because the law was already there. It worked. It just needs to be enacted correctly. Well, so that's what we need to do is start holding, you know, our senators, our congressmen, our politicians, all these people, either hold them accountable or get rid of them. Fuck them. You know, you want to reset the world? All right.
Did you hear about California repealing the civil rights bill? They basically it was done under the guise of affirmative action, but it legitimately rolls back the civil rights policies of the Civil Rights Amendment to the Constitution of California. I think that's what it is. But they got rid of it. So it is now legal to discriminate against people in California. Specifically, I think it's going to be used to discriminate against white people, but it could be used to discriminate against anybody potentially.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to use like immigrant status in order to get work in California now.
Probably, man.
Well, that's just...
How asinine is that? But it says something about affirmative action, so it must be about affirmative action, right, guys? Right? But if you read it fucking rolls it back.
Remember, law bills are just like advertisement commercials. They just have a fancy title to think it's supposed to be something good, but when you look deep down, it probably isn't.
No, that don't sound very good at all.
Yeah, it's frightening, man. We live in interesting times, I hate to say.
Oh, yeah, it is definitely.
Fucking fuck.
I give up. I'm moving to an island.
Well, I'm
buying 3 wives and a bunch of guns.
Well, I look at it as, I'll honestly say, like, anymore, I'm living in a world I don't understand, man. Really.
Yeah, it's like kind of getting to the point where I have to agree with Tim Pool. It's like I'm going to get a van and I'm going to fucking drive down by the river and live off the land.
You're going to live like Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon, or actually more like Lone Star in the Eagle 5.
Because he had a bunch of people going, what are you going to do if you get canceled because of your views and blah, 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 blah. He's like, I'll go. And I'll go to the store and I'll buy something and I'll go down to my van down by the river and I'll cook it by the fire and I'll enjoy it and be thankful for my meal. He's like, you guys don't think I haven't thought this shit through? It's like, come on. I'm standing up here saying, wait a minute, this shit ain't right. And what the fuck is it with the people against Terry Crews? Motherfucker came out and said I was Me Too, and they're like, shut the fuck up. And now he's saying this shit. He's like, wait a minute.
Because he's not falling in line, man. He's not falling in line.
I know, I get it. It's a rhetorical question, but it's like, come fuck on, guys. How much farther do we need to go? We need to get more smart people out. We need more Dave Chappelle's. We need more people out there to speak out against this shit and say, wait a minute, this is enough. Time out. Stop.
Yeah, we need more Dave Chappelle's, more Terry Crews, less Mark Ruffalo's.
Well, he wasn't Me Too'd. He was talking about how
he was insulted. He was yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, to be clear, how he was saying that he had been coerced or forced into certain situations, and everybody just ignored him.
Yeah, no, he was like at a party with his wife, and he was with his wife when this happened, and apparently some producer walked up to him and grabbed his dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was it this show we brought up the gay mafia? No, that was another show.
Yeah, it was like a couple. It was either I think it was last show actually.
That was the last show, yeah.
Oh, it was this show? Okay. I meant, was it this channel?
It was my channel.
Yeah, because that's another thing that goes into the Me Too thing. For here, we're gonna get shut down. That's one of the things you don't hear about is all the gay producers and stuff like that who coerce straight men into doing shit to get roles.
Yeah,
and nobody listens, but it's okay. So,
well, yeah, the whole thing also with was it Corey Feldman talking about.
Well, the Corey Feldman thing was a big fucking nothing burger. Unfortunately, I wish if he had something juicy, he would have said it. Because everything in that documentary, everybody already knew.
Well, I wasn't talking about the documentary per se. I was talking about the shit that happened to him.
Oh, well, that's the thing is the shit that happened to him wasn't even nearly as bad as what he claims happened to other people that he has very little proof of.
Yeah, and also the threats themselves were the normal stuff that goes throwing around with Hollywood. A lot of people say things like, I'm going to kill you and destroy your career out of anger, and they don't do it.
What his documentary made me feel was that the child thing is possibly on a lower level than people think, but that doesn't mean that there's a lot of other shit that's getting swept under the rug.
Yeah, in Hollywood, the worst thing is it's just like with anyone else. Like a lot of people give the wrong people the power that they have, and they abuse it, and they don't have to.
Okay, I got to pop this up real quick because I don't know what they're talking about. So, Buddy Smith is saying Chappelle is drinking the Kool-Aid.
In what way? Because last I knew, he was telling everybody, like, unless he switched gears again. I know he did some Black Lives Matter thing or whatever, but that was early on, and it was more about the whole situation that spawned it, because it was called 8 minutes and 49 seconds or something like that or whatever, and it was about that whole deal. But that was filmed way back when, and I don't has he said shit
a month ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, has he said shit since? Because that was about that. I mean, I can separate the two there.
I caught part of it, and Colin Noir kind of basically addressed the whole thing where he was talking about calling the NRA racist, and Colin was like, "All fucking shit." And I'm not saying that he gets everything right, but yeah. Clearly, I think he was wrong about the whole thing with the NRA, because they're definitely not fucking racist.
No.
And everyone likes to cite the whole thing with the Mumford Act too.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem with the NRA is it's so attached to the Second Amendment. People forget that it's basically like an organization. I mean, and I'm not trying to like demonize them in any way, but it's just one does not equate with the other. Just because the NRA were to go away does not mean our rights to guns go away.
Yeah. But they're the ones that honestly stand in the way of making
sure. In a way, yes, but they're just as corrupt as every other fucking.
Okay, so Grand Moff Inquisitor saying his newest vid. Okay, I have not seen it.
I think there was the NRA got all crazy in the late 70s, right? Because they were pretty responsible and awesome prior to that. I remember reading old propaganda. Their stuff was like, go to this thing to train how to use a rifle and all that type of stuff.
Honestly, it's mostly been, if I wanted to be fair, it's probably mostly just been in the last 10, 15 years.
Well, okay, so
to be honest,
there was a change in the 70s. Maybe it was later, because initially they were kind of like the FUDs. And if you're not familiar with what a FUD is in gun culture, it's basically people who are saying the Second Amendment is about hunting, and it's like, no, it's not. So they were about a lot of the whole hunting thing, and it wasn't until later where they became more about protecting the Second Amendment and basically what it is today.
I remember the Charlton Heston speeches where he just quotes his "for my cold dead hands" stuff.
Yep.
But like even in Canada, we have gun rights. Like you're not denied a gun unless you fail the training, and you can go for the training stuff anytime you want. Like there's no issues. I think the only big regulations is that handguns with a barrel less than 8 inches are prohibited.
I mean, I don't want to sit here and get in a gun debate, because here's the thing. I mean, I'm not a gun nut, and I've had more than enough reasons in my life to be against guns, but I also understand that guns don't kill people. And if somebody wants to kill somebody, they're going to find a way, whether they got a fucking gun or not.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't fucking matter in that respect. But, and if anything, the last few months, or the last few weeks, I should say, actually, more so have made me think that, maybe I should get one, even though I'm not pro or anti in any way. I'm just kind of in the middle.
You should.
I've been thinking about it just because. I mean, I've got a dog. I've got enough other things to protect myself. and I live in a bigger area than I did, but I live in a still rural enough area. Like, this is the town I was talking about where I saw the 2 white ladies fucking out in front of the library protesting. This is the town. They've quit. I tried to get a picture and I forgot, and then the next day I went by, they're gone.
Well, here's the thing too, man. It's not, I think, I didn't start off as being pro Second Amendment, obviously. I was always kind of indifferent, and a coworker of mine was like, "Hey, dude, have you ever shot before?" I was like, "No, I'm actually kind of afraid of guns. I'm more worried that I would hurt somebody with it."
Exactly, that's kind of where I'm at.
And he's like, "Dude, you got to go to the range with us." I'm like, all right. So he convinced me, and I shot my first gun, and I had such a blast. And once you learn the rules, of gun safety, and you get the mystery kind of taken away, and you learn about it, that fear diminishes. And it's not even the fear factor, because I've shot guns, I've gotten to hunter safety, and I've done a lot of that shit. My thing is, I'll get too jumpy and think I'm being, invaded and be my kid or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's
you're worried that you might misread the situation.
Yes, and it's just because it has nothing to do with me whether or not I'm afraid of using the gun. It's more or less like, it's. I don't know.
I mean, the trauma of taking a life, even if it is in self-defense.
Well, right. There's that too. I mean, of course, if I was to if somebody did come in my house, I'd warn them, and then I'd try and shoot them in the leg or something. But I'd obviously say who's there or whatever to try and
always shoot for center mass because it's the biggest target.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, man. Just because you hear something, I don't immediately go for my gun.
Well, no. But again, being in a very different area from what I'm used to, and all that kind of stuff, and all the shit that is going on. I mean, if it were to escalate, it is something that I have thought of. And I
think you should. Here's the thing, and this should resonate with everybody out there. When seconds count, the police are minutes away. That is the biggest reason why you should own a gun. It is about being responsible for your safety. The whole thing I have always talked about with the police is that they are there to show up to clean up the mess.
Well, that too, and not only that, also at the same side, on the other side, is the ambulance is that far away as well at the same time, and not only that, we're getting into situations where it almost seems like it doesn't fucking matter. You almost can't defend your own house anymore.
Yeah,
that's what's starting to scare me. Is like it's getting to the point where it's like it doesn't even fucking matter if I had them. What difference is it going to make?
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. It's. I would like, my suggestion is, get one just so you have one for your own protection and safety. Just, obviously be wise about it. If you have other people living with you, don't, you hear a noise, obviously investigate.
Well, that's one thing. No, but I mean, it's just a matter of, I'm in a stranger area, I don't know anybody around. The crime is it is a much bigger metropolitan type area than I'm used to, so it's a little bit more different for me to take in. So.
Gotcha.
But anyhow, back. I don't want to get on the gun subject too much. So
that's no big deal, man. I don't have a problem talking about it.
No, I know you don't. I'm just saying I don't want to carry into it too much myself personally. That's all I really have to say about it.
Fair. But the last thing I'll say on it is that if you do, just get training. That way you can be more comfortable with. Well,
and like I've said, I'm comfortable enough with guns. That's not the problem. It's just
there's that worst case scenario thing that's just nagging at the back of your mind, right?
Well, I feel like it's like almost. Okay, maybe this makes more sense. Since I have it, I'm gonna be more apt to use it if I didn't than if I didn't, kind of thing. Like
I don't think so, because especially if you go into the whole training aspect too. I think I've heard Colin Noir talk about the whole thing, that he's less inclined.
But you know how short fused I am with putting up with bullshit. How long do you think it'd be before I have some arguing ass neighbors and I go outside and shoot off a couple rounds and say, "Shut the fuck up"?
You can't do that, man.
I know. Yeah. That's my problem. That's why.
Get a starter pistol from like the racetrack.
But No, get a flare gun. There you go. That'll get their attention. No, I don't have that problem. I was just trying to leave some of the tension there.
Yeah, I
know. Shit. No, it's funny because my landlord, this is a true fucking story. Because I told him when I moved in here, I'm like, I would like a bigger place, but obviously I have no choice right now. And he's like, oh, I got tons of places he's talking about and stuff like that. And he mentioned he might have a place opening up today already. And I said, really? And he says, like, yeah, if it's not too far for you to go. He told me a place. I'm like, oh, no, that's not so bad. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to have to, I can't do anything yet. He's like, it's not like a definite, but their lease is coming up and I'm going to go month to month with them, but I really hope they leave. I was like, yeah, why? He's like, yeah, because they got into it with the neighbor, and I guess they threatened him with a crowbar and called her a fucking cunt.
So who knows? In 2 weeks, you might have.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, it's like, okay, so I'll slow down on them boxes for now. So I have a feeling they're probably gonna wind up in jail before too long, anyway. So, what the fuck?
Well, one of two things will happen. Either she'll walk out with a shotgun and blow them more, or they will
escalate. Once you got somebody threatening with a crowbar and calling the other one a fucking it's just a matter of time,
Hey, so if you know the exact address, what you do, just call the police department in that area and just claim you're a neighbor and you heard a dispute that seemed like it was getting escalated. And the police just walk by and say they're responding to a call from a neighbor.
Don't give me fucking ideas, Script. This shit's going out live to at least a couple dozen people. I already wanted to delete it from earlier, and he's like, nope.
Well, it was funny because it's like I had somebody complain. I think it was Tree Rock Creations complaining that I take my videos down. It's like, no, I don't private them. I enlist them. So I always post them on Twitter. If you can find, I don't tweet that often, so you should be able to find it. But yes, I need to have a live stream channel where I can put the live streams at. But
yeah, that's the headlines there. Mr. Connor's neighborhood was mostly peaceful.
Mostly, police endured a mostly peaceful protest. What was it, like 5%?
Is Drew sleeping?
Drew fell asleep again.
It's because I thought I just heard him snore.
I know he hasn't said anything in a while. It's like
I kind of figured that. He's probably tired. He works all day long, just like I do. Oh shit! No, my landlord here is pretty cool. I gotta give him that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I tell my wife is that we have an alarm system and dogs. So those are the things that keep the person invading the house occupied while I run and get my gun.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with my dog. I mean, if I'm there, I'm not too worried. It's if I'm not here, how she'll react. To be honest with you, my dog would be one of those dogs that shows a big show when I'm here, but like when I'm gone, she probably like cowers and hides. Have you ever seen those videos of people who like they set up like a video and have somebody fake break into their house to see how their dogs react?
No, I haven't.
Well, they're all over YouTube. They're kind of funny because you'll see these dogs, and 9 times out of 10, the dogs just run and hide.
I don't know. I think Buddy would actually wouldn't. He's the one who's really nervous and barks everything. He will probably bark.
Is he a little guy?
Yeah, he's little.
I was just gonna say the funniest one I saw was there was like I think it was like a German Shepherd or something around that. He went and ran and hid, and the little guy, he was like a little beagle mixed with something small. Like he was tiny. He just went he was not letting that motherfucker in the house. Just was not happening.
Little dogs are terrifying.
Oh yeah, he was just like, and the other guy just went, and the little dog just went and ran and hid.
I would flip the camera on and show you guys Buddy, but he's not in here. But he's a funny dog. He is part Dalmatian, part pug, and part terrier. So he's definitely kind of got the long dachshund body with the barrel chest of the pug, and he's got the pug underbite. But oh my god, his teeth, dude! I mean, that dog is like fucking full of teeth. So,
Yes, Bold Bear. I need a Fenton. I mean, I'm sure my dog would. If, like I said, if I'm here and somebody tries, like, she's very protective of me. Like my kid even used to have it.
Which is Fenton? Is the Fenton what the military uses?
No, it's a video.
Fentanyl.
Oh, okay.
That's fentanyl, but it's a video. I don't know if the original audio is from that video, but it's one we play on Mead. It's got a little dog going after a bunch of sea lions.
Oh, okay.
And the guy in the background's yelling, "Fenton!
Okay.
No, Fenton!" And he jumps off the boat onto the fucking rocks and goes, "Yeah, Jesus Christ, Fenton!"
Sorry. We could just like all leave and just leave it all with Drew snoring.
I want
It'll be like that.
It'd be like ASMR.
How many times has he fallen asleep on streams now?
This is the third or fourth.
Christy, are you still out there?
Well, yesterday on Bounding, he let one slip. Like he broke wind, and it made Toxic
like
Man
Rob. He's like accidentally forgets. He's like, "Oops, I forgot I was not muted." It's like you said that too quickly for us to believe it, Rob. Yes.
It fucking happens too, man. There's nothing worse than live streaming. You got, God damn, I gotta fart.
That's what the mute button's for.
Exactly.
And just to be safe, you got two of them, just in case. You got like that, like you can't hear me. Like here, my mic here, that you can't hear me. Yeah.
You can also mute the tab.
Yeah, there's the tab as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still, point being, he does it on purpose. But I say if Christy was still here, she must have went to bed. I say if somebody start keeping tabs on when he falls asleep, so we can do a super cut of all the times he fell asleep.
Oh, that'd be what is it? Rennie A or no? Who's the guy that does the Friday Night Tights?
Oh, Perry Chan.
Oh yeah, Perry Chan. Yeah, have him like clip the snoring.
This is fucking hilarious. Okay, so Toxic Man Flu sent me a link, and it's basically Trump pepper spray. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That is really fucking hilarious. Wow, it got really quiet.
Yeah,
we're waiting for Drew to snore again.
Yeah, we're listening to Drew. It's so sweet and quiet.
Welcome to Comics Division ASMR, where we will listen to Drew Taylor snore for the next 5 hours. Enjoy, everyone.
Fall asleep to the sound of someone sleeping.
We're here to call your play-by-play.
Fall asleep to the sounds of Drew Taylor snoring. Fucking A, man. We all need a good laugh after reading that article.
I know.
Something to reconnect us to the core of our humanity so that we can have a
Did
respite.
Drew stop breathing?
I hope not.
That's going to really suck if Drew dies on stream. Come on, Drew.
Please don't joke about these things.
Yes, come on, man. Don't. You there? Oh, there he is. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the episode of the Golden Girls where Dorothy has to put the mirror under her mom's nose. But we're just stuck in the audio version where you just have to wait and turn up the gain on the mic to hear Drew snore.
Oh, we already know Rob's going to probably keel over on stream. He's going to be mid fucking rant and have a stroke. And nobody's going to know.
Happen once Die Another Day.
Yeah, he's going to be like, and this Bond movie is the worst thing to cause us. We're just thinking he's still going along and goofing. And then all of a sudden we hear.
It's like, you ever see that episode of the Boondocks where the guy's talking about he's singing that song "I Got Shot," and then he actually gets shot on stage while singing it. No, I really got shot, and everyone's like singing along with him. No, man, some guy walked up on stage and shot me. God damn, I missed
just because he goes in these rages, so after a while you're just thinking he's just or whatever, but actually no, he's having a stroke.
So literally, someone has to be next to him when he's physically
We're probably
streaming
lucky that he
the
does
rant, just so that he could live to listen to his rant the next day.
There are people that live with him, but yeah, and they want to see Fenton. Here you go.
Okay.
It's only like 30 seconds or whatever, 9 seconds, not even. So yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
See, I think the audio is from something else, but it just happens to work with it.
Oh man, that's fucking great.
That's when we call on quit.
I love how the seals is diving in the water.
There's like, fuck this, and he's like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna get you water dogs.
Oh man, that's great.
And we sat there, Mary and I and the other girls, we sat there and debated for like ever for what kind of dog it is. I'm convinced it was a puppy husky, but everybody else is like, no. I'm like, no, it's got the blue eyes and the tail. But no, they're like, no, it's a full-grown little dog. I'm like, no, it's a puppy.
It looked like a full-grown little dog to me.
It could be, but I've watched it enough times that I'm almost convinced that it's a pup, a fucking what I just said, husky pup.
Husky, oh. Husky or like a baby black lab?
Well, it's got the blue eyes. If you see it, like there's that Malamutes that have the blue eyes.
Well, Huskies
Yeah,
have one
Huskies
blue eye
have-
and one brown eye usually, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
No,
that's
I thought they have blue eyes typically.
sometimes. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, they can have two, but sometimes they have the one discolored or whatever. But
Yeah, sometimes they do, but not always.
so that's where it would have been cool. Like my dog, she's like part husky. If she would have got like the eyes of the husky and shit, but no, she looks straight up like a German Shepherd. And the only thing that you can tell is husky in her, besides the fact that she won't shut the fuck up and thinks she has to have the say in everything, and, like talk back, is her tail. Is when she perks it up, it looks just like a husky tail with the curl. Yeah.
Well, Nelson, my bigger dog, he has the kind of a curl in his tail, and that's, I want to say he's probably part German Shepherd, and I want to say he's like part hound. He's a hunting dog, man. I mean, I swear, he that dog is a trained killer. Last week, he killed a possum. It's like, I don't know how. Yeah, I mean that dog, dude. I mean, he's a pain in the ass and he's amazing at the same time. He's been hit by a car twice. This is before I adopted him. His front leg is crooked a little bit, and you can tell where it was broken and it reset. And then when we found him, I was working with a rescue group, so I was fostering, and he was hit by a car. He was brought in with his mate in a litter of puppies, and his like back leg was like fucking trashed. Like they weren't sure if they're going to be able to save the leg or not. They had to go and reconstruct the femur. Like that's how bad it was.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty fucked up, and I feel bad for him because he's got arthritis now, and the thing is he has arthritis in the good hip because it's obviously
the stress of the walking.
Well, he obviously has to walk more on the left side because to compensate for the damage that was done to the right.
That's too bad.
So he got to the point, and we have a 2-story house now, so he was having problems getting upstairs, and we have him on some stuff, so he's definitely a lot better, but he was kind of limping, and they did an X-ray of his pelvis. It's like, holy shit! It's like, I mean, he looks normal, but you see the X-ray, his body's fucked up. And
sorry,
it's all right. I know it makes you laugh too.
That's too bad about the pup. But yeah.
Well, I mean, he's good.
As long as he gets around, I mean, that's what matters. But how old is he?
He's 12.
Roughly, I suppose.
He's
Are you
12.
guys? Oh wow! So
yeah, I've had him for 10 years.
Well, then he's doing all right. Then if he's made
he's good. He's good. And he's on some stuff, so it helps him out, and he has some Rimadyl that we give him on occasion when he's not feeling good.
If he's 12 and he can, even with some meds, get upstairs and stuff still, then he's doing pretty damn good. Then just seeing that X-ray, man, it was just like, holy shit. And it's like I was talking to the vet about it. It's like, the whole thing with dogs or animals, because they're able to walk on 4 legs, they're able to compensate a lot better for an injury like that. Where with humans, man, since we have we're bipedal, we're kind of fucked. So. You said pedal.
Nah, pedal. We walk up 2 legs.
I was in the pedal position for like 20 minutes once. After some chick, she like kicked me in the nuts.
Oh, this is fucking funny.
I can't wait till Beavis and Butthead comes back.
Oh, dude, I'm afraid. I really am.
I'm not, because you know what? Mike Judge has 0 fucks to give. Okay.
Well, Mike Judge actually said he regretted Beavis and Butthead.
When?
I don't know. It was a while back.
If he did, I don't remember him saying that, because when like the recent stuff that he's talked about, he was fun. I mean, he's embarrassed by certain things, but it's just the quality of certain things. Because like even go back to the fire shit, he was all against editing it. That was MTV.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, yeah, MTV technically owns Beavis and
Fryer.
Butthead, but he has a lot of fucking say over them. And I don't think that he would. He didn't do it the last time, so I really don't think he's going to conform to anything new. He just plops Beavis and Butthead in whatever era it is. That's kind
Hey, Christy finally showed back up again. But real quick, let me get this. This is pretty funny.
Yeah, we were talking about you earlier.
Yeah,
All
we
bad
we
shit,
were.
too.
It was pretty terrible.
Drew
Don't
fell
worry.
asleep again.
We have the technology to rebuild him stronger, faster. The $10 billion dog. Da-da-da-da.
Does he jump and go or whatever that?
Anyway, yes, Chrissy, we're talking about you because Drew fell asleep. So we're wondering what the counter is.
Yeah, we were like, you got to start keeping track of this so we can start clipping them and make a super cut of all the times Drew fell asleep and start snoring on stream.
Oh boy.
See, here he is.
There it is.
What do you think about that, Drew? Really?
Oh my god. Oh, so did you hear about how Brie Larson started?
Yes.
A YouTube channel?
Yeah, her first video got her hours of monetization and verification.
Are you
She had
serious?
that
Oh my
before.
fucking god.
She had that before it even dropped. They started. Her publicist machine went into effect this morning.
Yeah,
this
overdrive
afternoon.
on everything.
And then the Phantom Menace heard about it, and her dislike ratio went up like 400%.
I think the one video had like 888 dislikes when I saw it.
Yeah, and now it's up past. Well, let's see here. It was over like 6,000 last I knew. And like the dislikes were starting to keep up with the likes at that point. Like, I mean, the likes are far ahead. Don't get me wrong, but like it was like you every time I go back and check, they were going up by thousands each.
It's
like,
a fucking Twitter war over goddamn. Brie Larson.
and the fucking comment section is a fucking massacre. I can't believe.
Oh, it's at 13,000 dislikes and 41 likes.
Oh, so the likes have slowed down. Row George. Now this is gonna see. This is the thing. Is this had a head start on the likes? Just wait till the dislikes catch up. It's gonna be a glorious mess. And then they start shutting off the fucking comments. Here's the other thing.
No, wait. What they're gonna do because of this is they're gonna start writing fucking hit pieces now because of this. You know the access media is gonna go fucking
You're probably
crazy over this, man.
Okay,
It's gonna be a fucking feast for them.
I'm gonna pause it, but I'm gonna share it with you so we can just read the fucking comments. Drew, is that what you think?
Yeah, that's very insightful, Drew. That's
Actually,
very
we can
insightful.
crop this with like a reaction video where it's just Drew snoring as she's talking.
That's the funniest thing you said all night. Yeah, exactly.
I need to get like a picture, just like some video footage of Drew sleeping.
Shit. Yeah,
So
her publicist machine was in full effect. Fucking, this is edited by somebody professionally. You can tell.
And it's edited in the old YouTube style with like the quick cuts to different time frames.
Yeah, and she thanks like all these people that helped her in this, and yeah.
Aren't
Sorry,
you glad, like YouTube is so genuine and like it's about real people, like talking about real things, and it's not like overproduced or like it's real.
And why are these people at her house when there's a quarantine right now? That's another good question. Black artists and activists to follow. I didn't know I asked. Oh, okay, Drew. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You're right. You're totally right. I apologize.
Oh, but this is the thing. This is the thing that Bad Robot was pushing. These are people, black activists and creators you need to follow. They're telling their employees to follow Black Lives Matter, and the people who start BLM.
Well, and I've heard people have had problems using names like Mecha and stuff like that. I didn't have a problem. It looks like.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was the other thing I was going to get to. Is some people have had problems using certain ones of our YouTube names when they've tried to post things.
Really?
Yeah, and then the dumbass that has had the audacity, like an idiot.
Hang on, let me center that so I can actually.
Oh, I'll just read it.
Read it. All right.
I said do a collab with Mecha Random 42 or Yellow Flag. Mecha Random 42 is a Brie Larson basher. Why the hell would she give someone who hates her attention? It's like that idiot felt like he had to have the need to fucking answer me.
I know. Please note sarcasm.
Exactly, you idiot. Oh shit.
That's so true, Drew. Very, very, very true, man.
Look at my lettuce. Okay, could you react to underage films and give your opinions on them? I'd love to see you react. Godzilla. Let's see. Bring Chris. A lot of them for bringing Chris Hemsworth on. What's your experience with mental health?
There was there's this band that went to my.
No, there was a lot worse comments in here. I think they're deleting comments.
God, they probably are.
Poor decision.
Wait. What was that? What was that?
It's a poor decision. Back the fuck off, virtue signaler. Shit.
Oh, dude, there's gonna be an article. There's probably an article right now on the Mary Sue saying a bunch of toxic males went over Brie Larson's YouTube channel and left her terrible comments. They downvoted her
counting. That talking about the dislikes. Shit. trolling out the river.
Well, after tomorrow, Friday Night Tights, when Gary's most definitely going to talk about this for a moment, that dislike ratio is going to jump another 5.
Oh, yes. Well, I know it probably did a little bit tonight because they talked about it on World Class. Collab with the folks at EFAP. They'd love to have you. You dirty dog. Oh, shit.
Okay, Christy's wanting a link. 1
Oh,
second.
come on in, please. Go on Geeks and Gamers, or better yet, invite them on. I heard Jeremy would love to talk to you. He did a bunch more views.
Oh, man.
This is almost as bad, guys. Don't say shit like this, because then they know we're kidding.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it. This person's all for it, but like the idiot who chimed in on mine, he's so stupid and dense to realize that I know they don't like her. Obviously, that's why I said it, numbskull. Not this guy, the other guy, but this guy. Guys, just remember, if you call it out, they're not going to be stupid. They're not going to read these anyway. But I think they've been deleting some because I know
Brie Larson's not going to read her own comments.
She hearted some of them, but I don't think she's doing.
She probably has an intern that's doing that shit.
That's what I'm thinking. Yes.
Oh
Oh,
Damn,
God.
I gotta change my avatar.
Right,
Sorry.
Drew. That is very true, Drew. Now you interrupted Drew.
I know. Drew was saying something really insightful.
I'm sorry, Drew. It was important too. Failed in Hollywood, so came here to fail harder. Check.
Oh my God, the shit that Parrot Head is sending me on Twitter is fucking hilarious. Unfortunately, I can't see any of this. I can't share any of this.
Did you see the one that I sent you on a DM?
Yes, I did. That was fucking hilarious.
Did you share it? Or you don't want to?
Well, okay, because I'm not on my desktop. I can't.
I'll do it.
Okay, you share it. It's pretty fucking funny.
Okay, so Wes Moody did this. You know how Jeremy he doesn't have a Twitter anymore.
Yes, that's correct.
So
did he actually delete it?
No,
it's
his account got suspended.
Well, I know he's suspended, but I wasn't sure.
I don't understand this, but I think it's a jab. This channel will be perfect when it fits a woman.
Look at that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. You should date and marry Nick Utam. He's an epic beard and a man of color. Damn, that's inclusive. Plus, you'd score world-class bullshitters points. Those guys are on point and damn handsome. That's Kendo.
Oh my god, this is too funny. I seriously, dude, I think this is fucking bait. I really do.
I think so. I think
It
you're
is.
right. I give this about a month.
Oh yeah, she won't be posting videos come September.
Oh shit! Drop the taco. Bree, honey, YouTube wasn't made for you.
Hey, Drew woke up.
Did he?
I thought
That was his laughing.
Was it? Or did he laugh and fucking just asleep?
I think Drew, are you awake?
Yeah, I am.
Now he's awake.
There we go.
That woke him up.
When did he start falling asleep? So I know the timestamps.
Oh, it's been about a half hour.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's been out for a little while.
How you doing, Drew?
Someone is trying to desperately trying to stay relevant. Yikes! Talk about Hollywood in the struggle. Disingenuous. I want to see your lettuce, babies. Oh Jesus! Do a collab with Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Yes, we get enough people on there. She might. You know.
I doubt it.
I love that. Just 14 hours into her channel, and she already has 100K subs. How many of those are bought? And totally organic. Cry more, huh? Yeah. I just love that this woman has earned every one of them. Sure. Sure she has.
Is there any way to check the region of where a person's subscribers are coming from?
People might know how to do. I don't understand that shit. So
Why? Because you think a lot of them are coming from
somebody will figure it out.
Well, I do know for a fact because I've had emails where people said you can buy subscribers from India, and I'm like, no, thanks, I'm good.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't help your channel.
Silly idea, but you could do a video one day to meet Brie, where you just talk about different types of cheese, like Brie cheese.
no, the only thing that it really counts on is like Twitch.
I don't like you. That's pretty to the point. The comment section is unbelievably sketchy with all these positive comments.
Holy shit.
Oh, we don't
I
listen
went
to
into
bullshit.
Social Blade to type in Brie Larson. There's a lot of Brie Larson accounts.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's got the Brie bots. You know about them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like this. Captain Marvel is my favorite movie. You know he's fucking lying.
No, it could be a troll.
Oh no, I know. He probably is. You're the girl from the unicorn store, Hearts.
Well, the funny thing is, I kind of wonder how many like Phantom Menace videos are gonna be, showing up in the recommended next to hers.
It'll be a matter of time. Welcome to YouTube, my ass. Who invited her? Here's NPC, who's had a lot of stuff. His list is Mahler, the Quartering, Internet Historian, and Owen Benjamin. Okay, there you go. Yeah, they must be deleted because there's comments I remember seeing that aren't here now. And I'm an hour, and all these are out of order. I didn't change the order. That's my fault.
How many subscribers does Midnight's Edge have?
175.
Okay. She has 104,000 now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let me
Well, that's what happens when you have like a huge Twitter and Instagram following.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them.
cringe. Okay, so his was fairly newer. Okay. Your only good role was Envy Adams.
Oh, dude, this is really funny. I don't know if you've been getting this, but there's been somebody going around. Like typically it happens on Friday night, but there's like this account, and I just keep muting it. But it's somebody saying it trashing Mecca, trashing Anna, saying how awesome Brie is. He keeps posting this image side by side of Brie Larson's ass and Gal Gadot's. And it's really funny. It's like, why are you doing this? It's like you're getting to the point where I want to create a bot account so I can start spamming your accounts that you create.
I love this. Is this like a personal attack or something?
God, she is.
Talk about the racisms. Tell us how bad men are. Speak about your LGBTQ experiences.
Oh, that's a good one.
So, who wants to take bets on how long she takes to disable comments?
Oh, here we go. Here we're getting Fandom Menace and Clownfish TV videos at this point.
Oh yeah, there's been plenty. Oh, you mean on the side? Yeah.
On the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a Sargon video too.
Well, it could be partially because of what I watch.
Yeah, it's true. It could be what you have.
I'm not excited for your content.
Dude, somebody needs to post a comment about how she needs to, replace herself with a black woman.
I would do that, but on my alternate account, I wouldn't do it on my account.
Oh,
I almost feel bad because this is what this meant. YouTube drama finna be lit. He's sitting there with the popcorn just waiting. No, stop. We don't want you here.
Oh, God.
He don't belong here. Oh, fuck. This is YouTube, not YouTube.
Oh, there's a Simperino comment right there. We don't want you here. Please leave.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. This is less exciting than Drew Taylor.
Look at the one above.
Oh, we're liking that.
Hell yeah. That's charismatic to be a YouTuber.
That's fucking epic.
I feel really attacked right now.
Is there another Drew Taylor?
No, it's somebody from our chat.
Yeah, it's
Wingus Dingus.
It's Wing.
Yeah.
Bo Papa says you are part of the problem that's been cursing this earth for a long time.
I want to see somebody actually just jump on there and leave a comment like "drop the taco."
Somebody did.
Oh, they've had a couple of those, yeah.
Oh yes,
masculinity. There we go.
Look at that ratio already. 41K likes from people who haven't been exposed to you or the proof around your toxic man-hating ideology. 13K who already know exactly how disgusting and toxic your opinions are. Those ratios will get worse over time. For those who are not aware, go search Brie on YouTube. Look for the many videos of the many commentary and community from a year or two ago. So much of her toxic ideology is exposed in these videos, and you will be doing yourself a favor in watching and learning. She hates men, especially white men. She is racist and sexist.
Yeah.
And she's dating a guy that she's taller than.
Yeah.
Like
you
Keep
deliberately.
talking about him in the
So is she dating a white guy?
Yes.
I don't. His name is Adeb or some shit like that. Abed.
Well, I've seen a picture of him. He's a short white guy. He overworks his arms.
I'm not interested in the opinions of a 30-something Jewish woman. This video wasn't made for.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Brie, I used to think my life was a tragedy. Now I realized it's a comedy. Sorry, I can't watch this channel. I'm a male. We are not welcome here.
Damn, Tom, I need to put my damn glasses to read.
Wow.
I'm trying
to read them
as a
for
white
you.
woman.
Here, maybe I can make them a little bit bigger. Hang on here. That's what she said, right? Oh, there we go. A little bit bigger.
No, that's what Bree said.
Okay. Do a video discussing your privilege as a white woman and how you helped black and brown people in the film industry. You'll have to recognize your privilege before you start making videos. So true.
She says that at 14 minutes in, she says something about her privilege.
Yeah. And I know some of these are ones we've already seen, but I refreshed them by time instead of being so random. The cheese is old and moldy.
Oh God!
Lots of love from India. Oh Jesus! Why are there so many dislikes? Frowny face.
Jesus.
This one's actually kind of good. Frustrating to see so many talented YouTubers who are working to make content full time for years to scratch 100,000 subscribers, and you get this actor who does nothing, no editing, etc., and gets all the attention in the world and surpasses 100 subs. Yep, that's exactly what happened. She bought her way onto YouTube.
All right, this is interesting. Let's talk
Here's
about the minute
Napoleon.
Bree joins YouTube, the commentary community gets demonetized.
Oh, probably.
Funny. Captain Marvel got a YouTube channel. 2020 never ceases to amaze me.
The funny thing is, like, most of these comments are just benign.
367,000 views does not seem trending worthy. Almost like her power is used for her to advance herself on a new platform. Exactly. If her video is trending with only a couple 100,000 views, then it's definitely getting pushed up by YouTube.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
is.
Absolutely it is. Come on.
I'm saying the next couple days we'll get people who know this shit. They'll dig into it. We'll see. Do story times, yeah.
Yeah.
So on Twitter, I'm trying to. I don't know her channel. I had to type in her Brie Larson. I see Brie Larson gay, and then Brie Larson boyfriend in the search bar.
Oh, her channel doesn't even have a channel name on the thing. It's. I'll send
It has its own little thing when you search it because it's Brie Larson checkmark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she got a check mark. She had a check mark right away. I'll send it in the private
Okay,
chat.
I got it.
Yes.
You got it? Okay.
Send this to me as well. I have to go check her channel out.
Here you go. I just put it in here and I'll send it in Twitter too.
Yeah, I had like 3 people as soon as she made it. 3 people sent me links to that channel.
It's fucking funny. Wow.
Drop the taco.
I like that. Please stop! You're ruining this platform.
It's already ruined.
Seriously.
Dead air. Now we're getting to the Fox News clips.
Oh, wow. This one I kind of wanted to raid, but I kind of felt sorry for us.
Yeah. Please stop. Oh, okay, we got that.
That's the please stop. You're ruining this platform.
What are the replies?
We're helping her by commenting. So, like, how is she ruining YouTube? I don't see it, to be honest. 37 minutes ago, I like this one.
Oh my god. There's gonna be a resurgence of Brie Larson videos, isn't there?
There's the Ken
Yep.
one. Here's the Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers one again.
See, when I was on Wes Moody's channel and I had pulled it up, I started getting the live, like the playing like Minecraft or the dinosaur on.
This already smells liberal. Entitled White Women Always Right and Better Than You. Gel Mibson.
They got a Ric Flair avatar? What?
Oh no.
Here's the good one. Here too, another one. All the creators that YouTube is in bed with don't necessarily reflect most respected people on the platform. This looks like Rewind. Here's an idea. Struggle to make the best content yourself without cameos or anything like that. Really live it. Obviously, you aren't strapped for money, so earning the respect of people is the right way. Will give you and your audience a sense of accomplishment. See?
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. I ruined Marvel. Now I'm going to ruin YouTube. Me. This is a loaded gun barrel belongs in my mouth. Like Brie belongs on YouTube.
God, man, some of these are so fucking priceless.
I love her so much. Oh,
That was savage. Fuck.
don't know why. Doesn't feel genuine. 25 seconds in. Everyone hates you.
Everyone hates you, and your butt is a box.
When Marvel tells you to fix your public image and become approachable, also appeal to gamers because reasons. As long as she doesn't enter the YouTube beauty world.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
Oh my god, that is such a fucking train wreck right now.
Too many dislikes.
The beauty, what the YouTube beauty? I was going to say breeding.
The YouTube beauty world is
Here's a pre-bot right here. They don't understand. Why so many dislikes?
Sorry, I didn't see Captain Marvel, but I really enjoyed the adult film parody.
Oh my god.
You should give a thumbs up to that one, Tom.
Okay.
I wonder if Lethal left that comment.
He sims for her all day. I woke up this morning and I checked Twitter, and that was the first thing I saw is Brie Larson has a new, and he was so excited. I was like, what? No.
I love this. Boardroom committee. We need to destroy YouTube faster with more cringe content. Anyone have any ideas who to promote? Susan Wojcicki, or however you say your name. Say no more.
Oh man.
Shit.
This is
leave.
Fucking fantastic.
Brie.
Oh man.
You do collabs with other
cheeses.
Why are you here? Broke? You spend that $5 million already?
Yeah, she has $5 million, but she has to grow lettuce. I don't think she's doing financially well.
Oh, Eric Breen. Bree doesn't care what you 40-year-old white dudes think of her channel. It's not made for you.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see Perry Chan's little video that he does for Friday Night Tights.
Oh, did you see the one he did already?
No.
With Drunk 3PO?
Yeah. See if you can find that real quick script if you can.
I should be able to.
Yeah, just go to his thing. It should drop right above there. That's funny as shit.
Was that the one with Drunk 3PO having like the oversized muscle body, or is it something else?
Yeah.
I like this. Are you always this irritating, or are you done some online course during quarantine?
How to be more irritating. That will probably be taught by Brie Larson.
Oh, fuck. I don't like Brie Larson, but she has every right to have a channel. I wish her nothing but the best. The trolls need to find something. Yeah. Trying to gain some points there, buddy. Whatever.
Some of them just don't get the fucking joke.
Karkin Solo alone.
We want to see your
That's because that lettuce bit.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what's the lettuce thing?
She does a bunch of shit in the video. It's like a cut together piece of a bunch of different shit. LMAO, she's like a kid.
Fucking gameplays. Yeah, right.
Just another propped up corporate puppet.
Pretty much.
True.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shit.
Hey, it's Dr. Coffin Nails. How's it going, man? What have you been up to?
Okay, Karen.
That could be like a new dating website. Instead of OkCupid, okay, Karen.
Where nobody gets laid.
Where nobody gets laid and everybody gets yelled at.
And they keep on emailing the moderators.
They shame you for being on there.
Excuse me. I need to talk to your moderator.
Can I speak to your wife?
I used to, never mind.
Oh, you actually used to do shit like that?
I used to work for an online dating company for a little while. It sucked.
I'm so
Learn more
sorry.
facial expressions.
Damn.
What? So what happened? What did it suck?
Because they would call and stuff like that. I was at the front desk, and I don't know how they would get the 1-800 number. I was like, how do you get this number? They purposely make it hard to call this number, and the passwords or whatnot. I
Do
say
a
collect.
snuff bill.
What? Was
that? That comment right there. Do a snuff bill.
I missed that one.
Scroll up a little
That
bit.
is
There it is.
Right there. What are the replies?
Oh my god, dude, what the fuck hilarious. This NPC guy has commented like a bunch of them now.
that is
Damn, people from Sacramento are the worst. Doesn't everyone hate you?
Okay, so I'm curious. Why would people call? Like,
Tom, you should set it on the setting like the newest first, so you get all the new ones.
That's what I did, but you were sleeping.
A lot of people would pretty much call for because they were actually stupid enough to pay, because there are paid services instead of just signing up, or they would call and complain about a person's profile or their profile or something like that.
that's
Oh my
funny.
god, my favorite white woman.
Nothing bad comics.
Well, it's just like I'm not getting any dates. Well, what kind of? It's like that's why I would figure people would be calling about or something.
Well,
like that.
I mean, they had that, but that wasn't where I was at. Now, what is it? You're in Texas comics, so you know channel, like if you're just on regular TV, no cable or anything like that. So like channel 58, TBN, Trinity
no.
Broadcasting Network. With all the
I should probably go-
televangelists,
okay, yes.
kind of like Daystar.
Yeah, okay.
So I used to. So they would put ads on Craigslist, for their call centers, because people would call the programs that they would do live, or the programs that they would have, they would tape those, and people would think it's live to call in to send money, call in to sow your seed and stuff like that.
That's fucking funny.
So they would these people.
Sorry, finish.
These people would call all over the world, and so they would put in the ad to get phone operators to take the payments and stuff like that. And me being the sensible person, the first call I ever got was for a couple $100, and then somebody called. Was it Guyana or somewhere in South Africa? And they wanted to do about $5,000. I said, "Are you sure?"
Wow.
Yep. I was let go about 2 hours later because I kept saying, "Are you sure?" Because they were listening to the phone. They were listening to the conversations.
Damn you for having morals and fucking
Right?
I'm sorry. You need to convince them to give more money, not less. You have to go.
I mean, because a lot of them were putting it on their credit card.
If someone offers
So,
$5,000, you say yes.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Jesus.
yep.
All right, so what's up with this comment?
Yeah, give me a moment. I gotta find a voice for this one. Don't even get what's so special about Brie Larson. She's so bland and mediocre. She's like an empty casket of flesh. Bland, entitled, and thinks she's more important than she really is. What a great superpower that must be. having the confidence of a below average, mediocre, upper class white woman. P.S. For every reply I get that includes, but is not limited to, the following phrases, I will be owed $10. Mansplain, male privilege, man baby, incel, virgin, toxic masculinity, and oppression.
Damn.
This, sir,
Oh my god, that was perfect.
greatest comment I've ever tonight.
That's one of the best ones ever. Yeah.
Empty
casket of flesh.
Nice.
I applaud you, sir. That was beautiful.
I can't like
Good
this
imagery.
enough. And I just love the PS. The PS is the piece of resistance.
It really is.
The cherry on top.
Death kiss.
That is such a fu. That is so perfect. Because it's like, how do you respond to that at that point if you're on the other side? Oh, you're just another toxic man, baby male. I mean, at that point, it's like you've already listed it in there. It really kind of diffuses all those comments.
Yeah.
That's why nobody's probably commented on it in an hour.
I know. That's fucking great.
That's the best part.
What is the newest comment?
I'd have to refresh. I mean, we're only so far down here. We're only an hour ago. And I mean, yeah. So.
There's one from 52 seconds ago. I wonder how much it costs Bree to pay for these upvotes.
Oh.
All right, let's refresh here. All right, sort by newest first. That's very reassuring from the silver screen to the laptop screen.
You should upload Basmati Blues and Virgin Signal.
What the hell is this? Try Guys and Link. What? Oh, probably people they want to collab with.
Kitty Bear is saying to stop refreshing so you can get to his comments.
Stop refreshing?
Yeah, stop refreshing. Get to mine.
Where's his? I
don't know.
I'd have to take. I have no idea. There's so many comments, dude. How long ago did he comment?
I don't know.
I'm asking him.
Ask Kitty Bear.
I thought I just did.
Did you?
Spring Bear, I have to admit this video made me fall asleep tonight.
Oh, nice one.
She seems such a sweet and wholesome person. Those dislikes are they're noticing. You're right, comics. I bet you by morning, you're right.
Yep. Oh, here we go. 3 hour mark. I swear, dude. I seriously think this is bait. It's fucking bait to smear the Phantom Menace.
Probably. So how far? He said how long ago was it?
3 hours.
Oh shit, dude.
3 hours?
Jesus, man.
3 hour mark.
Damn.
So before this video started or the stream started?
Oh, no. I think probably 3 hour mark of that video. Or 3 hours ago. I don't know.
That's what I think he means. Yeah, because now I'm getting back down to because I should have kept going. Then yeah, that's what he wants. Okay, I got you now. All right.
Really?
Oh, look, if it bothers you.
Yeah, that comment was gold though.
It better be good, Kitty Bear.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting an hour ago. Come on, we got a ways to go yet. My dog wants out too. Collab with Will Smith. Still an hour ago. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Yay,
you know what? Honestly, what we probably should have done is just fucking ignored her channel.
Yes, but it's too late now. Pandora's box has been opened.
Streisand effect.
But you know what?
Mark my words, folks. There's going to be a fucking hit piece articles coming
there
out.
There is, but you know, what are you going to do? The bait was there.
Yep. This is like dialing for dollars.
I'd say there's some golden ones in here that we hadn't got to yet.
No, there are, man. They're fucking. Yeah, reading these comments are probably more entertaining than watching.
Oh yes, they are. There's a couple people have been. I'm sure that's all they're doing is just sitting here reading the comments. Oh shit! So we're still only an hour ago. Jeez. 2 hours. Okay, finally 2 hours.
Jesus.
Okay. And I kind of remember Kitty Bear's thing here in my head to kind of try and stop if I see it. 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. You guys can keep talking while I'm doing this.
Oh, well,
I
Nana Reaper
made a
posted.
comment too, but we'll try to find kitty bears.
Yeah, well, I can read Nana Reaper's comment that he posted up here. It says, "I hope your content is better than your Nissan commercials. You seriously hurt Nissan sales."
Restons.
Is there actually proof that she hurt sales?
Ouch.
I wonder.
Oh, they'll blame it on the pandemic.
No, of course. Yeah, that's kind of the excuse. The pandemic or white supremacy.
Oh, you have to give me homework.
I did.
Yes.
Sometimes there's a required reading.
I meant kitty bear this time, but you too. You gave me homework earlier.
Yeah.
But I only did half my homework.
So we got this super chat coming in from Dr. Coffee for $5. I find it hard to believe she doesn't have more downvotes. It was at 9.3K an hour ago. I think give it time, man. I think it'll get caught up.
Well, that was the thing. It was so overloaded in the front end. Like, I don't believe half the votes she had to begin with. Because, like, when I found this, it was still pretty low on the views. And, like, Script said there was only like 800 downvotes and a couple, like 20,000 upvotes. But her upvote ratio has slowed down dramatically compared to her downvote. So they'll say she's getting ratioed now or whatever. Jeez, this is still 2 hours ago? For Christ's sake. Sadie, I know. You want
Well, it's like 16,000 comments, so.
Who invited her? I see one like, oh, hell no.
Hell no.
No way, I hate you. All the incel bros commenting. There's a couple now for EFAP there, yeah.
Jesus, the anti-Captain Marvel people, or whatever it says, grow up.
If that was the only problem I'd have with her, then I would be way beyond this by now. This was a poor decision.
delete.
Yikes. See, this must have been when World Class was still going. There's a lot of negative ones here.
Right? Kitty Bear should just repost it.
I was going to say at this point, dude, because
3
I'm at
hours.
3 hours. But okay, we'll see if we can find it here.
Toxic man flu.
I can't read.
Watching Tom scroll through the comments is more entertaining than Captain Marvel.
It is. But my dog is fucking the piss out of me.
So the queen of wokeness and stupidity is in YouTube. Yay, a rich white liberal telling how to feel.
Yo, guys, stop being such neckbeards.
I'm here before 100K. Let's get more dislikes on this video. Sadie, stop.
Dude.
Oh, take a second, let her out. Yeah.
Yeah, let her.
Okay,
She doesn't really probably go out that bad. I let her
did Gail
out.
Simone only last 4 videos?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my god, that was so fucking funny. But nobody fucking was watching her shit though.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta find this. All right, let me see here.
She's taking down comments. Yes, she does. Or some paid moderators. I don't know.
Well, Christy, if you time it
fucking
right, you might be able to be a mod for Brie Larson's channel.
Yeah, you're right. 3 months ago, only 4 videos. That lasted long.
Yeah. Jeez, oh man.
God, I can't.
I
Okay,
haven't checked out Michael Chabon in a while either.
holy crap. Oh, okay. So she got, she even break 2,000 subs.
I like this. No, YouTube just deletes fake spam comments, so quit spamming troll channels. That makes absolutely no sense.
Kitty Bear, just repost the damn thing.
Yeah, you might as well just repost it in our chat, man, because this is gonna take a
I
while.
see someone that says go on Geeks and Gamers, please.
God, that
There's
was
a few of those, yeah.
hilarious.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I said that earlier. Yeah. Like,
Oh yeah, they probably already sent her that silver play button.
It's a personal attack or something. Shut up, incel.
Learn a new buzzword, you tard.
Define incel. Hell, define.
Wait, that's RL.
That's RL. Speaking of RL.
Double showcase, sir.
Oh, fucking great. What are we seeing with Breeze up votes? Is this the power of YouTube to push whatever they want? And is it scarier than the captive TV audience shame? YouTube is done, guys. Yes, it is. I completely agree. And yes, I have had comments deleted in the last 10. At least 10.
A lot of people claiming they can't post comments or their comments were deleted. So I'm pretty sure.
So Bree's going to be the one that killed YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, considering wasn't this the same kind of shit we seen with
Hey, rich white girl, get off the normal people's entertainment. Don't worry, you'll still get your Marvel checks.
Oh my God.
Hey, did Kitty Bear just repost his thing yet or not?
No.
Okay. He's gonna make me look for it just to be a jerk.
I would.
He did. Go back up.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Wait, like in the chat or in the
No, in the comments.
There it is. I found it.
All right. Okay, here we go.
I have been a garbage man. I have dealt with the most nastiest stuff possible on earth for a very little pay. But not even all the money in the world will get me to subscribe to you. And this guy's
scroll down. I made a comment too.
No, read the reply. Read the reply real quick.
Says, I appreciate your help in the community. I hope this stays up. And she skips over deleting this. Yeah, evidently they've been deleting comments.
Oh, yes. I'm pretty sure.
Just political garbage.
Host PewDiePie's meme review. Please don't bring your plague to YouTube.
We read this one when you were sleeping, I think. True.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's more replies since before. Mahler.
Spelled Mahler wrong.
She doesn't need that trash.
Yeah, hey, look. to be fair,
Donald Trump.
To be fair though, when I dose off, man, hey, look, you guys, I'm on pain meds, so.
It's fun. We have fun at your expense.
Oh, I know. I would expect nothing less because and that's how you know you have true friends when they can fuck with you. Guaranteed.
I went on 2 live streams and I came back and I was like, y'all are still live.
Look at this! Look at this white knight here.
I'm good.
And Christy, you probably came in right when I was sleeping.
Yeah, what I did.
Oh gosh.
All right, read it, Tom.
This is a sad fucking gentleman. I'm assuming it's a gentleman. It's sad watching the community is downvoting and being negative about all of this. So what you guys are saying is a successful person or a famous person in a different field can't join YouTube and have 100K followers overnight because she didn't grind for it.
Absolutely.
The grind was brutal. It's just that we didn't get to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, for all those people that had to edit her video and watch her for several hours talking to all these other YouTubers.
How many of these? Is this a personal attack? There's a few of those now. I do all my own stunts. Thank you very much.
I bet she does the editing of her own videos too.
No, she
so no one has commented. Thank you very much, has they?
Oh, go back up and see my comment.
I say I'm sure there's a few. Okay, when did you comment, Christy?
Maybe like 9 minutes ago.
Okay.
You'll have to go back up and
no.
sort by.
Let me refresh it.
Yeah.
Oh, piss
Yo,
her.
what an image to pause on, Tom.
At Gunderson?
Oh my God, she's already monetized.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we knew
Oh,
that
yeah.
earlier.
Oh, come on. I mean, that goes without
She's
saying.
gonna have like the silver and gold play button before the end of the month.
She's fucking Brie Larson. I mean, come on.
She's just doing this to feel important. That's all.
No, there's okay. I see where he reposted. He reposted at the top.
Well, how did you end up with bro? So mine is like about 9, maybe 10 minutes in now.
She's successful.
Get out the platform, you failed Hollywood reject.
Larcenist seems like a good name. Oh God.
She is burning down the MCU.
Yes.
Larcenist. That's great.
PewDiePie.
Yeah.
The gay rascal.
Already throwing editing. Sorry to bust your bubble. I got to do this.
You should be like, there's no way in hell.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Hair, makeup, or stunts. She didn't even know if she was recording with the one girl at the beginning of the video. So.
Yep.
Oh, that was on purpose to make her look human.
Oh, so what the gay rascal say?
You started a gardening channel. I don't know what I do.
So you need a whole production staff to do a bland virtue signaling video. We all know you can't act, sort of. Or we all know you can act, sort of. But can you sit down, turn on your webcam, and just be a person?
Oh, dude. There's Christie's.
She just wants to be a person.
She likes to play people.
Yes, she does.
Thank you very much. Well, go ahead and read it yourself, Christy.
Thank you very much, but not interested. Also, you put Drew Taylor asleep with this video.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit. It's 2:16 in the morning and we still have 72 people watching.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good for fucking 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh God, hold on. I want to go leave another comment. That's gonna be gold. Hold on.
You look like a farting grandma. Cyber. There's no way 2020 could get any worse. Bree, hold my wokeness.
So what the fuck should she actually talk about in the video?
Oh, stupid shit. It's just
She's asking advice by other YouTubers, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a collage of her and a bunch of other YouTubers and shit. It's dumb as shit. It is so stupid. I don't even want to give her another fucking view. Fuck her.
Well, Dr. Coffin Nails, that must put you in Eastern time.
All right, I think I can't do that anymore.
Yeah. All right.
So about 14 minutes in, she goes, I have it on closed captions. I'm a white woman with privilege on a platform. So it doesn't just make any sense to do something like this to help everyone.
Wait,
wow.
What? I know it's like, 2 a.m. and I'm tired.
You're going to have to repeat that. Definitely.
What?
Oh God, you guys got to refresh and see this.
Here, I'll share it.
I just tried to get away from it.
You just got to see that last comment.
Every time I try
here you go.
You just pull me back in.
It's Bree. You're a better sedative than any pain medication known to man.
Oh, it's fine. We don't need to share it again. Or is there something you want us to see, Christy? Oh wait.
Well, if y'all want me to what she was saying.
Yeah,
that
I'm
she
sorry.
says I'm a white woman with privilege.
I thought you're sharing comments. Okay.
No.
It's like having Zoom calls with different activists.
Yeah. I don't want to listen to her voice.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm a white woman with privilege on a platform.
On a platform.
So it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Can I read in my own voice, please? You're so disgusting.
I'm a white woman with privilege and a platform. So it just doesn't make any sense to me to make it about me the whole time.
You know, it's not anything like me.
Who are those other two guys?
Bunch of you.
Some other YouTubers.
Oh, okay.
And why is this a fucking collage of stuff?
Because I think her editor thinks it's YouTube circa 2007.
Yeah, the jump cut shit was like so many 10 years
And
ago.
the jump to the close-ups.
Yeah, and I think this is a preview of all the shit we're probably partially what we're going to see. In the next.
That's what I'm thinking too.
All the shit's been pre-planned, pre-done, pre-processed, pre-packaged, and pre-paid for.
And pre-subbed.
I mean,
Well, actually, just replace the pre with brie, and then you got it. Brie packaged, brie subbed.
I mean, there's like, other actors, actresses that have YouTube channels that are actually pretty fairly good. Like Katie Sackhoff has a good YouTube channel. But my God.
Soul Assassin. Kill me, dude. I wonder how many of her subs are bots.
Probably.
But are they Brie bots?
Oh my God, comics go to Twitter.
Gary just dropped a tweet talking about how he's going to welcome Brie.
Oh my
Wait. Who? Oh.
Gary.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh man. Holy shit. This is gonna be good. Tomorrow is gonna be
You're
amazing.
gonna share it.
All right, one sec.
We never did share the drunk 3PO one either, did we?
I couldn't find it.
Eric,
For some reason, it wasn't on my
clean all
timeline.
those tacos off the streets, man. Ain't that?
All right, let me make sure that this is my account.
Oh boy,
Hilarious.
it's gonna be
cool.
a
I
hell of a
know.
live stream to moderate tonight, later on today.
Second one on his Twitter.
You better believe it.
Freak.
All right, fuck. You know what? I need to share sound, don't I?
Yep.
Boomer.
All right. one
Okay,
sec.
boomer.
Okay, boomer. The fuck? Oh, you already added it, didn't you? Or
It was a
who-
different one.
okay, it's a different one. Okay, all right. Do. God damn it! This is the problem I have with the three fucking monitors. I gotta stop sharing. Gotta come back over here. Gotta
such
reshare
an
it.
issue to have 3 monitors.
Well, it's the way I have it
I know.
configured too, which is kind of a pain in the ass. Well, I have my monitor plugged in that I normally use for my PC, and I got another one I use for reading articles when I'm recording, because it just makes it easier and also makes things easier to share.
I have loved watching your videos so much. I'm like looking at my backdrop right now and looking at your backdrop. I have
That's great. All right, let me share this one.
This is bad. Ready?
Oh yeah.
What is this? Oh my.
recording? Wait, I'm trying to figure out how to record. Freaking AirPods didn't connect. Hello?
I'm your host, Jay, and I'll walk you through this tale of love.
Wow. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Do that again.
Yeah, play it again.
Am I recording? Wait, I'm trying to figure out how to record. Freaking AirPods didn't connect. Hello?
I am your host, Jay, and I'll walk you through this tale of love.
Oh, that's fucking great.
That's awesome.
I love it.
I love it so much.
I love it so much. Holy shit, man. Now we're 81 views, people watching. And it's 2 a.m., almost 2:30. All right, guys. I think we gotta call it. I need to crash out. I need to get ready for my big day on Friday Night Tights as we talk about Brie Larson being on YouTube.
Jesus.
And I'm gonna make the stupidest decision ever, and I think I'm gonna go do some Mead Radio.
Nice.
You should do that. Mead Radio, everyone. Starting this way, Script Doctor.
Oh, hey. Thanks for having me on tonight, as always. If you enjoyed my commentary here, you can find me at youtube.com/scriptdoctor and on Twitter at scriptdoctorphd. Yeah. It's 3:22 a.m., folks. How's it going?
And don't forget that Script Doctor is the whitest man on YouTube, which means that Brie Larson will instantly hate him.
Yeah, and she's the whitest woman on YouTube, so
yeah,
you'd think we'd form an ally, some sort of coalition.
Why do I hear the Romeo and Juliet love theme swelling?
Instead of me finding her through the aquarium, it's through the monitor.
This is where you're supposed to say, but she's revolting.
Well, she is revolting.
See.
Next up, we have Drew Taylor, who looks a lot like a woman these days.
Oh no, man! I kept the avatar the same because I came, over from the Battlestar stream. But I'm Supreme Heretic. You can catch me on my channel, youtube.com/Supreme Heretic. And every Thursday we do Pegasus Actual Podcasts. And then, of course, I come over here afterwards and hang out with Comics Division. 90% of the time I'm awake. It just so happened that the meds kicked in good. But I'm glad I was entertaining while I was seeing out for you.
Well, your snoring had a lot of insight.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It really did.
but besides that, you catch me on Twitter at Supreme Heretic, and if anybody does want to help out, please just hit up the subs, trying to get to 500, and also if you obviously I'm not monetized, so if anybody wants to help out in that way. Anything that is donated, it does go to, myself, because I'm having a hard time medically at the moment. And also it does also help my mother, who has leukemia and whatnot, and she has a lot of difficulties. So anything is appreciated.
And if you could drop that link in the... Oh, you already did, Christy. Never mind.
I already did.
Yep, Christy's on it.
She is totally on it.
Yep. So...
Oh, sorry. All right, you're done. Okay. Next up, we have Tom. How's it going, Tom? Tell the audience about yourself and how they can find you on the internets.
I'm a Gemini.
Jesus.
I like cats and dogs.
Ninja
Turtles. I'm not really into cars, but I do like fast cars. They turn me on. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. You can find me on Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark, and I'm going live on Mead Radio here in a few minutes.
Nice.
And last but not least, our late joiner, Christy.
I'm literally trying to post links.
Post faster, Christy.
Kiss My Grits comics. Damn, that was a real country.
That was a real good throwback to you. Kiss My Grits.
So I'm Christy. I have a channel. I'm going to do a shameless plug. Okay. YouTube effed up my hours and they took away like over 1,100. So I have a playlist for live streams. If y'all could just play that, that would be great.
Whoa. How did they fuck up your hours?
I have no idea.
You know what? I've seen that happen to multiple people, though. I think they did that to Rosetta at one time. They've done that to other people as well. It's just, YouTube does not like anybody that has fun. They are anti-fun.
Shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell me about it.
I never thought not so much as a shadow ban type thing, but it's weird that people pulled it up. You know how like the subscriptions, and then it doesn't tell when I'm live when I'm actually live. So yeah. See, I was at 2,945 hours. Now I'm down to 2,924 hours.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh God, Tom, he named it Breed Radio.
Yep.
No, you didn't, Tom.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Breed Radio. That's great.
Comics Division, sell yourself.
Oh God, do I have to?
Yes.
People already know who I am. I mean,
They're
if they're
here.
They're on my channel.
here.
They should know who I am.
68 strong.
Yeah, 68 strong. Well, they know we're bailing, so you know. Hi, I'm Comics Division. You might know me from Friday Night Tights. That's it. That's all I got.
That's
I'm kidding.
You'll see him there tomorrow.
Yes, you'll see me there tomorrow. And yes, I have my own YouTube channel. I've had it for quite some time. Who is this comics guy? I have no fucking clue, man. No fucking clue. Yes. Sorry again for the lack of content this week. I've had a whole slew of technical difficulties. This is what happens when I enter and add new things to the chain, like the camera and the other thing that murdered my my chiller for my CPU. But it's all good. I got parts coming in tomorrow. I'm hoping they will get in before Friday Night Tights. If not, I'll be live streaming from the Mac again. I'll probably just use my regular webcam. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. It's not like you really care. I'm tired and I'm rambling. Don't mind me. I have a channel.
I love you,
Subscribe.
Comics Division. I love you.
I love you so much.
Anyway, so yeah. Good night. Catch you guys next time.